Hello everyone, welcome to Baba. So in the last two sessions we talked about the PYQs of ancient history and then again PYQs of art and culture. Art and culture, of course, we combined with both medieval concepts also as well as ancient concept also. Right now in this particular session we are going to talk about the PYQs which was asked in UPSC PRELIMS examination from last 10-12 years or so. So that is a medieval Indian history PYQs we will start from. Okay, so in medieval India, of course, some early medieval Indian questions were also asked. And in ancient India itself only we discussed about some early medieval Indian dynasties like Gahadavalas, like Chandelas. We had to discuss in ancient India itself only. So to cover the aspect in 360 degree, we've already covered that one. And now we will start with the typical medieval history questions. Again, there is no chronology can be distorted over here. It's a standard disclaimer. So we are going to theme wise because I already know. I've already watched two sessions. That is, I guess you people already know that we are covering theme wise rather than the. But I have tried to give chronology as much as possible itself only. So here also I will try to make it as chronological as possible. But thing is that we are go with theme wise. Okay, so Bhakti and Sufi movement will take one theme. Early medieval India feudalism will take one theme, and then again some of the medieval Indian we can say certain rulers were asked. That will take us certain themes. So this is going to be a very short session compared to art and culture as well as ancient India. This is around, we'll see how many are there. Okay, so I forgot the exact number. We'll come back to that one. So now the first question, 2015, with reference to Indian history. Which of the following are essential elements of feudal system? So what is feudal system? Feudal system is a decentralized system. First and foremost, we need to understand the concept over here. And when this feudal system began after the Gupta's time period. By the time of the Guptas only, it had already started because of the land grant system. The land grants led to giving away power of the kings to the local officials, also to the local sometimes the priests also. So these localized rulers were becoming quite important, and that led to a system called as feudalism. It had a huge impact on the Indian economy as a whole, Indian social system as a whole, Indian political system as a whole. Okay, so with reference to Indian history, which are the following essential system of feudal system. So essential features of feudal system: a very strong centralized political authority. So that itself is wrong because it is not central. Feudalism is decentralized. Emergence of administrative structure based on control and possession of the land. I told you one of the reasons for the emergence of feudalism is land grants. Yes, land. And then again, creation of the lord was the relation between the feudal lord and his overlord. And again, whoever received this particular land grant, so they are binded by whatever the suzerainty of the overlord. And then the people of that area which was given as a land grant to any one official, and the people of that particular area also came under the control of that Doni. Doni means those person who received the land grant. So that is what exactly, that is a feudal lord and his overlord relationship came into being. So this is right. This is right. Okay, so 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 only, and 1, 2, 3. So what is the answer? Answer is B. That is 2 and 3 itself only. So this is a concept actually, nothing factual about that one. It's completely concept. We will discuss this concept right now. I've already explained the concept. Now we are going to examine this particular concept. It's decentralized system, like I already mentioned. It's a fractured political system after the Guptas and Harshavardhana time period. That is, we are building into early medieval times. We can say 6th. We can say even if take it as 7th, 8th century AD, 7th, 8th, this kind of system continued until nearly 10th and 11th century AD also, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, 11th century. This kind of system continued for a very longer period of time. Okay, so particularly when you look at the administration of Mauryas, if you have read medieval history, ancient history, particularly the Mauryan administration, it's all about centralization. Because every administrative control during that point of time, that was under the king itself only. So the Mauryan kings, and that centralized systems are trying to break, and that was becoming decentralized system. It's completely becoming decentralized. A major reason is the land grant, and this land grant system began during the time period of Shatavahanas, that is a post-Maurya's time period. So these land grants were started by Shatavahanas to earn the religious merit. It was given to monks of Brahmanas also as well as Buddhist monks also. And later, these land grants started to be given as a salary also by the time of Guptas and Vakatakas. This is the climax, this is the peak of land grant system. This peak of land grant system led to evolution of the concept called as feudalism. Now the kings became weak because as land grants was given to certain person, the kings also gave certain administrative rights over that particular land, like revenue collection right, law and order rights. And that is the reason kings became quite weak over there. Okay, so it reached peak by the time of Guptas and Vakatakas, and that is the reason Guptas kings, we can say that is decentralized tendencies. We can see what is centralized tendencies during Mauryas, they started to weaken during this point of time. Kings were also started to become weakened because decentralization itself says that the kings are losing their power. And when this land grant was given to certain person and those persons wanted to become independent, and they tried to sever their relationship with the king, and that led to feudal lords declaring independence. And that is the reason some regional kingdoms we discussed, Maitrakas, Maukharis, go and check ancient history video. Okay, so you must have seen over there some regional kingdoms. The entire regionalization of the politics was happening. The political system which was centralized started to become regionalized because of feudalism or because of land grants. And some posts, because of that they are giving up the powers also. Kings, along with the land grant, they are also making the posts hereditary, and that also led to feudalization tendencies. And now these lords stopped paying tributes. And when the kings become weak, they become independents. Okay, they start paying tributes, any kind of tributes, because they sensing the king is becoming weaker, and that is the reason they start paying any kind of taxation to the king. So that become completely weaker too. And now feudalism, some more features are there. And these feudal lords who received the land grants, and they had conflict among themselves. And this conflict among themselves is just to enlarge their area. Okay, they want to become kings right now because they were feudal lords initially. They were small feudal lords, and now want to become kings, and now they want to expand their territory. And that is the reason they create a lot of conflict amongst one feudal lord against other feudal lord. And that affected agriculture and trade. Whenever there is political instability, it's definitely going to affect economic stability as well as social stability also, and led to degrowth of the cities. The second urbanization we talked about, now that started to degrow right now. First urbanization IBC, second urbanization was age of Buddha and Mahajanapada, 600 BC to until we can talk about 300 AD, 400, 500 ADs. And now after that led to degrowth of the cities. Cities started to grow because for cities to grow, you require good agricultural base and trade system. But now they started to getting affected, and cities also started to getting affected, and led to fragmentation of the political system because of the regional kingdoms. Fragmentation of political system, and these landlords who received the land grants and who want to increase their power, they came to be called themselves as different names like Samanta, okay, again Sardar, Jagirdar, Zamindar, and Deshmukh. Okay, so these kind of names were being used. These kind of names were being used for different feudal lords, and these are names across India. Okay, so that is Jagirdar and Zamindar is this word which came quite late, especially by the time of when Mughals were there. At the same time when Delhi Sultans came, that is when this word became quite famous. And before that, that is Samantas, Sardars and Deshmukh, these kind of words were used in different parts of the country. And what is the features of feudalism? Very simple. These feudal lords wanted to become king. That is the reason they called themselves Raja and Maharaja. And the tax system was exploitative because they were guided by selfish interests rather than by the welfare interests. And they did not measure the land before imposing the taxation system, because to impose the taxation, you need to measure the land. But that land measurement was not there. Okay, and that was not based on any kind of, we can say, merit system, and no fixed system to fix the revenue. It was based upon their will. The will of the feudal lords decided the taxation, and that affected the peasants also as well as traders also. It led to sub-infeudation because one landlord started granting land to other mini lord, and that mini lord started granting to other lands, other mini lord. So that is led to sub-infeudation. Sub-infeudation, that is granting administrative and collection duties to mini lords. The overlord will be there. The overlord will be there at the top, but he doesn't want to work for several hours. Okay, so now, or he doesn't want to do its own duties. Rather, he is granting the duties to somebody else, and that person also do not want to work. He is granting to someone else. And ultimately, all these mini lords are working for a certain kind of commission, and where should that commission should come from? The peasants. So they started exploiting peasants some more, and that affected agriculture, trade, and that led to degrowth of the cities. There is further granting. Kings gave grant to one person, that person giving grant to some other person, and tenants might not be knowing who the real owner is. Might not be knowing who the real owner of that particular territory they are tilling. And impact, of course, general negative, low level of production only for consumption. Why? If there are no incentives to produce, if your taxation system is not good, why would I produce more? And I will produce only whatever necessary for my consumption. And if there are enough production is not there, exchange will not happen. If exchange is not happen, there is no trade. If there is no trade, no city or urbanization. So it is a general negative effect of feelings of, we can talk about feudalization. And social mobility also got affected. What is social mobility? Like if you have understood the historical concepts really well, social mobility in the sense that is people are the choices to rise up in ladder of society. Like Shudra could become, Shudra was a slave. initially, he could have become agricultural laborer, he could have become agriculturalist himself, he could have become trader also. That is, social mobility was there because of urbanization which was growing on. That is, they can improve their material position. But right now, because everything is getting affected, the social mobility stopped. Shudras remained as Shudras, slaves remained as slaves, Vaishyas remained as Vaishyas. So that is how that social mobility has also got affected because of feudal system too. Okay, that is a feudalization concept, entire feudalization concept we understood. So we also understood the entire concept behind that one and how it is evolved on that thing. And now we come to Bhakti movement questions like this, we can say. With reference to religious history of medieval India, the Sufi mystics were known to pursue which of the following practices, 2012. So we'll compare because previously we discussed about art and culture, about certain qualities of different mystics also, are different art and culture personalities we have seen. So we'll also see here itself only, that is Sufi and Bhakti personalities questions were asked. Now meditation and control of breath. Then again severe ascetic exercise in a lonely place. Then recitation of holy songs to arouse a state of ecstasy in their audience, which is called as sama. Musical gatherings are called as sama. So all of them are right. We'll understand the concept. So meditation, control of breath, all these things they borrowed from the Bhakti saints also. So all of them are correct. Okay. So because Sufi movement, it talks about majorly, again different strands of Sufi movement are there. The major strand that affected or which was had positive impact on India is the Chishti Sufi movement, or we can say tolerance Sufi movement, which was there. So all of them were the features of the Sufi movement. Now we'll understand what is Sufi movement. Sufi means purity in Arabic. Sufi means purity in Arabic. At the same time, it also one more Arabic word is there. Okay, Arabic word that is Suf. It means wool. Because most of the time you must have seen the Sufi ascetics and they were wandering with wearing certain kind of woolen coats. Okay, so that is woolen cloths, and that is also word that is referred to Sufi movement. And that is what Sufi movement represents, almost similar to Bhakti movement in Hinduism. And that Bhakti movement in Hinduism is majorly that deep devotion. And here also deep devotion we can see. Here also deep devotion we can definitely see. And that is communication with the God through practices, with certain what kind of practices? With ascetic practices, different pronunciation. And then again that is called as mysticism. It means you can have your own individual relationship with the God. You don't require any kind of middleman. Okay, then again prayer, meditation, then again fasting. Okay, and at the same time pranayama also. Okay, so revelation means reading of scriptures, reading of Quran, reading of hadith. Okay, so all these are part of the Sufi movement itself. And financing too. Again, all these things goes back to little bit Buddhism and Jainism concepts too. Financing concept in Jainism, that is also there in Sufi movement. That is what they borrowed concept from each other. Buddhism, Jainism, then again Sufi movement, Bhakti movement, they borrowed each other, influenced the other path. And pranayam, holding breath, that is same statement was there over there. Okay, and ecstatic love towards God. You want to achieve nearness to the God. Okay, and how do you achieve nearness to the God? Through musics, through bhajans and kirtanas, that is in Bhakti movement. Here that is called as different musical gathering, that is called as sama gatherings, that is called as. And then again they also criticize the old religious rigid belief systems. Okay, they criticize the following of Sharia in its truest sense. They wanted to reform that particular thing. Okay, so which is not because society was becoming dynamic, they did not want to remain with the rigid belief system. Okay, at the same time, due to increasing materialism of the caliphate, because the 4 caliphates are there, that is Umayyad Caliphate, then again Rashidun Caliphate. Okay, so you must have also talked about Abbasid Caliphate. You must have also known about Ottoman Caliphate. So initially, especially for the time of 8th and 9th century time period, there was Rashidun Caliphate, then Umayyad Caliphate, and his caliphates were becoming more and more materialistic, because caliphates are nothing but these are successors of Prophet Muhammad. And these individuals in Persia, okay, those who oppose this materialism of caliphate, showing off the wealth, and they disillusioned with that one. And these individuals in Persian region, that is Iran and Iraq region, Middle East, and they turned into this kind of Sufi ideals, and that is turned into asceticism. Okay, so when time, that is around 8th century AD we can talk about, during time period of 8th century AD. So this is how Sufi movement also originated. We understood the concept of Sufi movement, and we also understood how it evolved too. That is evolved as a kind of a nature of reaction against the materialism of the caliphate, as a reaction against the materialism of the caliphates, and now started to spread by the time of the 10th century. Okay, and now we can talk about Sufism. What it opposed display of wealth, immorality, social discrimination. It believed in equality of the society. It believed that all individuals should be respected, tolerance aspect, and they believed in service and love of humanity. And what they supported, you can go against this particular ideals. Social equality they supported, tolerance between different religion they supported, okay, social mobility they supported. There are certain core ideas of Sufism are there, and the core ideas of Sufism are the concept of soul. Again, you talk about Vedanta philosophy little bit, we can draw some kind of symmetry in between that one. Then Kurba, that means divine proximity, achieve nearness to God. Same thing in Bhakti movement. Then infusion of the divine spirit, infusion of the divine spirit. And then lastly, talk about the ishq, that love towards God, and self-annihilation are the central part of the theory. Self-annihilation means fana. That is the word that is used. Okay, fana is the word. And now we will see the organization of the Sufis right now. This organization of the Sufis in different orders, different schools on the base of their belief system. And what is their belief system, we'll come to. And these orders or schools are called as the silsilas. And each silsila, that is each Sufi silsila, are 12 Sufi silsilas are there. And each Sufi silsila was headed by a prominent mystic, and who can communicate with the God, who can achieve nearness to the God. That is there. And is a kind of a teacher of that particular school, like Chishti silsila, Suravadi silsila, Naqshbandi silsila. And the teacher are disciples. Okay, and the teacher is called as Pir, and disciples are called as Murid. Okay, disciples are called as Murid. Then live in place. These disciples and teachers used to live in a kind of isolated place, and that place is called as Kanka. Isolated place is called as Kanka. And particularly the link between these teachers and disciples, that is also one of the core concepts of Sufism. The link between Guru as well as the disciples. Okay, and the Pir, that is the teacher appointed a deputies called as walis to carry out their religious spiritual duties in any one particular region. At the same time, teacher also chooses successor. The successor is called as Khalifa. Almost a similar term for successor of Prophet Muhammad is also called as Caliphs. So, and the successor of this particular school is also called as Khalifa only. Okay, and Sufi orders are there. The Sufi schools, like I told you, that 12 silsilas are there. And these 12 silsilas are divided into two groups again, on the basis of the belief system in Shariat. Okay, that is Bashara, then again Beshara. So, entire 12 silsilas, few are Bashara and few are Beshara. What do you mean Bashara? Bashara is very simple. They believed in Shariat and they believed in Silsila. That is in the particular school itself. The rules and regulation of the particular school, they believed in that one. And they believed in Shariat not in its truest sense. And they also liberal interpretation of Shariat also happened. Because when you look at Qadri and Naqshbandi silsilas, and they also, both of them are Bashara only. They believed in Shariat. But one school is completely the rigid interpretation of Shariat, the other school is liberal interpretation of Shariat. Then Beshara means they do not believe in Shariat, and generally they are followed by wandering signs. This kind of belief system are followed by wandering signs. These wandering signs are called as calendars. Now this term is used in one of the answer options. I will come to that one. We'll come to that question. And there is no written account of this particular schools, because we have written accounts of these schools are there. Bashara schools are there. So we'll discuss 4 schools on the basis of this belief system, Bashara and Beshara. And then we will understand how there's diverse tendencies within Sufi movement we can also see over there. Okay, and compared to Bashara, these Beshara people are much more open-minded, much more liberal interpretation. Some Sufi schools, so we can talk about 2 Sufi schools, Chishti as well as Suravadi school, that is Bashara, it means believed in Shariat. Again, not completely in Shariat itself only, they wanted liberal interpretation of Shariat. And it is majorly famous in Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan region. And the founder of this particular school is called as Moinuddin Chishti. And Moinuddin Chishti ultimately he moved to Ajmer, a famous Ajmer Dargah that is related to this particular school itself only. And again some other Sufis of this particular school, Fariduddin Ganzi Shakar. Then again some of his verses of Fariduddin Ganzi Shakar could be seen in Adi Granth, in Guru Granth Sahib, of holy scriptures of the Sikh religion. Then again Nizamuddin Auliya is very famous for yoga practices. And then again Banda Nawaz, also called as, that is Nawaz Muhammad Banda, particularly from Karnataka region. And then again this system, this particular school, their ideas, no politics, no interference in politics, and again simple life, living a life of austerity, okay, seeking alms from day to day, and believed in religious tolerance, financing, fasting, religious tolerance, okay, and engage with the debates with the other religious personalities like Hindu yogis as well as Jaina yogis, and Hindu monks and Jaina monks. And this is called as what? Chishti Silsila. And what is Suravadi Silsila? It is Bashara. It is also Bashara. And look at the differences. We will see the differences between these 2 schools. Then only we will understand how there's a diversified tendencies are there in these particular schools. And it is majorly in Punjab and Sindh region. This school was famous. At the same time, this was founded by Bahauddin Zakaria, and it's quite opposite of Chistis. Even though they are Sufis itself, only their ideas are quite opposite, because they believed in kind of a poverty kind of life. They did not believe in poverty life. They want to live in ordinary life, not like a luxurious life, but ordinary life with normal food, normal dresses. Okay, and accepted the state offices. The political interference is there, but they don't interfere in politics. Okay, at the same time, accepted gifts and donation, material possession they accepted, but Chistis did not accept any kind of material possession. The reason is they wanted to live on day-to-day begging. Okay, that is, Chistis lived on day-to-day alms seeking. Day-to-day alms seeking. Okay, so that is a major difference between Chisti silsila as well as Surwali silsila. Again, the question is not repeated from this particular angle, but 1 year it was asked. Maybe it's been a while. 2012 was the last question asked about Sufi movement, and now if we can expect any question, so we have all the details over there. Again, 2 more schools are there. One is Naqshbandi. We will compare Naqshbandi as well as Qadri. Again, look at that one. How orthodox this particular school is, established by Khwaja Bahauddin Naqshbandi. Okay, and practice meditation, that is there, but orthodox tendency, because they opposed Akbar's policies and they followed Sharia law in its purest form. Whatever that is written in Sharia, they accepted it. But Chistis also accepted Sharia, but they want a liberal interpretation of that one. And they said that one, God and devotee is kind of master and slave relationship. Again, link with Dvaita philosophy of Madhvacharya, we discussed. Dvaita philosophy of Madhvacharya. But here, they say that one, that is, it is not of love relationship, but as a master and slave relationship. And against the liberal policy of Akbar, like I told you, they opposed the liberal policy of Akbar, like Salhekal, then Tawhid Ilahi, and then again Ibadat Khana. So all these things they opposed. They were against Sama also, against musical gathering. They considered it is un-Islamic. There's one more school that is called as Qadri. Again, look at that one. This is also Sufi school, but look at how completely liberal this school is. Again, it is Sheikh Abdul Qadir is the founder, and it's completely liberal, and also believed in unity of being. It means there is one term is used for unity of being, and that is Wahadat al-Wujud. It means the creator and the entity, everything is same. The creator is God, and the creation is creation, one and similar. Again, it can be related to Advaita. It can be related to Advaita. We discuss Advaita philosophy in art and culture. That's everything is same. They can dismiss orthodoxy. This is orthodoxy. They dismiss this particular thing. And Mughal rulers, certain rulers, and even women ruler also, that is Jahanara, and again the brother of, we can say, Aurangzeb, Darashikoh, they followed this particular Sufi school, that is Qadri school. And this is about Sufi movement. Certain terms of Sufi schools are there, and again you can go to that one, that is Tawbah, it means repentance, Zikr means recitation of God's name, and then again Ars means death anniversary or death of a Sufi saint is called as Ars. These are certain terms that is related to Sufi movement. And now we'll come to one more personality, Sheikh Ahmad Sirindi, because this was there in one of the questions also. That is belonged to Naqshbandi order, he belonged to. Then again, Hanafi jurist. Hanafi is one of the philosophical schools, one of the schools of Islam. Okay, it's one of the philosophical schools of Islam, Hanafi jurist. Okay, and contemporary of Akbar and Jahangir. And he was again Dini Ilahi. Dini Ilahi means that is a concept brought by Akbar. It's a kind of an ethical society that is brought by Akbar. It was not a new religion like somebody says that one, that is he wanted to establish a new religion. Okay, it was not the new religion Akbar brought, but it was at a kind of an ethical society, had some certain rules and regulations. Okay, and now look at that one. Consider the following about Bhakti saints. Dadu Dayal, okay. Then Guru Nanak, again Tyagaraja. Again Tyagaraja, we already discussed about that one, right? Tyagaraja. So this question was slightly chronological. So when Lodi dynasty fell, when Babur took over, which Bhakti saint was there? So you just have to know about the time period. You have to know about their time period. Particularly there is only 2. Guru Nanak was there, because Guru Nanak was the storekeeper of in one of the Daulat Khan Lodi court. Okay, he was the storekeeper in Daulat Khan Lodi. Okay, one of the governors in Lahore region, Daulat Khan Lodi. So he was there during that part of time. Okay, so he was given the time over here. Guru Nanak 1469 1539. Babur took over 1526. Now Dadu Dayal is quite late, 1544. And Tyaga Brahman we discussed about. Look at that one. 2 questions were asked about this Tyagaraja itself only. Probably we could have put this question there also. See, it is your discretion. You people can put these questions there itself only. Okay, so while I was analyzing, I felt it is quite good to involve with Bhakti and Sufi movement together. Kakarla Bama, 76 of 1847. Then Dadu Dayal, quite late, but Guru Nanak was the answer. Guru Nanak was the answer. Okay. And then consider the following statement, 2014. Bijak is a composition of the teachings of Sant Dadu Dayal. Look at this question. 2013, Dadu Dayal. And again 2014. Bijak is a composition of Sant Dadu. No, it is wrong, we know. That is the Kabir. Then Pushti Marg, philosophy. It is upon Madhvacharya. No, Madhvacharya is Dvaita philosophy. Madhvacharya is Dvaita philosophy. We'll come to Pushti Marg. So answer is neither one nor two. Neither one nor two. Bijaks are the composition of Kabir. Okay. And Vallabhacharya. So it is a 16th century. Why Vallabhacharya? That Pushti Marg is brought by Vallabhacharya. Pushti Marg was brought by Vallabhacharya in 16th century because it is a path of nourishing or flourishing. It's also a bhakti tradition with respect to Lord Krishna. And again, Pushti means healthy eating of good food. Then Pushti also means grace of the God. In two contexts it is used. That is grace of God, and particularly it rejects asceticism because asceticism do not believe in having normal life, eating good, and send a bhakti towards that is Krishna. I can talk about. Okay, so bhakti of devotional school of Krishna and accepts householder's life like normal life. So are this normal life. That is that we can say interrelation between that. So Vallabhacharya brought Pushti Marga. Madhvacharya was Dvaita philosophy. So look at that one. That's the theme was there. Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya. That is Ramanuja question was asked, and a Madhvacharya it was there in the answer options. So we can expect a question. Then look at this question. Consider the following statement. Sant Nimbarka was a contemporary of Akbar. Okay. Sant Kabir was greatly influenced by Sheikh Ahmad Sirindi. That we discussed about that one. Okay. Sheikh Ahmad Sirindi. Okay. Kabir, Sheikh Karvash Sirhindi. Different time periods. So what should be the answer? Answer is neither one nor two. Okay. Sant Nimbarka is not the time period. It's different time period. So Akbar time period is around 16th century. 1555 to 16th century. Now look at this one. Nimbarka is around 7th century AD, quite late. The worship of the divine couple Radha and Krishna. That's what they believed in. Again, Dvaita Advaita is philosophy. Again, Dvaita Advaita. So that is combination of both Shankaracharya and Madhvacharya. He says that one, that is Ishvara is independent. Instead of Brahma, he takes the name of Ishvara and exists by himself. And while Chit and Achit exists, dependence upon him. The Chit and Achit, we discussed this concept in art and culture classes. That is matter, that is living matter, living beings and non-living beings. So God is independent, but other things are dependent upon him. So that is what Dvaita Advaita by Nimbarka. This question was asked. Okay, now we are coming into Bhakti movement, because why Bhakti movement? In Bhakti movement we will see about Kabir. Okay, and here also there was one question. In this, which one was there? That we'll talk about Bijak, and again Dadu Dayal, Kabir, everything we are going to talk about in Bhakti movement. So that is again in entirety all the questions will get completed. Now almost Bhakti movement is similar to Sufi movement, the passionate love towards God, the deep devotion towards the God. That is the basic meaning of Bhakti movement, same as almost Sufi. And mystic relations with God within oneself, because you don't require any kind of middleman to reach the God. You don't need to do any kind of sacrifices to reach the God. You just have to, you can realize the God within oneself through bhajans, through kirtans. You can achieve nearness to God. You can ultimately be in union with the God. You can mold your relationship with the God. There is no necessity of any kind of middleman. Okay, that means they were against little bit priestly domination. And again, of course, Bhakti traces, it goes back to Upanishads. Bhakti trace goes back to Upanishads. At the same time, the Bhakti or the personal devotion towards the Trinity of Gods, the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, that led to a growth of Bhakti movement, and that same personal devotion to Trinity of Gods also led to growth of temple construction also. But that doesn't mean Bhakti movement supports the temple construction, because again, two types of Bhakti movement are Saguna and Nirguna. So one of them opposes idol worship, one of them supports idol worship. That is it. So as the Trinity of gods were increasing, the concept of personal devotion to them was also increasing. And particularly Bhagavad Gita, it also advocated one concept, that means Prapatti. What I mean Prapatti in Bhagavad Gita is that one, simply we can call it as Gita, that is complete surrender to God. So one person should be, who is in devotee of God, should be completely surrendered to God too. And this kind of concepts is started to emerge. Now scriptures evidence is also there in Upanishads, in Gita, and of course the saints also contributed by wandering saints by taking the message of bhakti from one place to another places too. And that is how genesis of this bhakti movement goes back to South India, particularly in the writings of two saints, particularly Nayanars as well as Alvars. Nayanars are Shaiva saints, like we talked about in Jyotirlingas. Jyotirlingas, that Tevaram texts. In those Tevaram texts, they mention about certain Jyotirlingas places. Kedarnath, Kasi Vishwanath. That is Vaipustalam, they are called it as. Okay. Then again, Alvars, these are Vishnu saints, Alvars and Shaiva Nayanars. And particularly these saints, okay, from the time of Pallavas and Pandyas and Cholas around 5th century onwards, they expanded the ideals of bhakti. The bhakti towards Shiva, bhakti towards Vishnu, from these saints, they started increasing. And it became a popular movement because they use vernacular languages. That is the popular languages. And in this case, we can talk about Tamil. Okay, Tamil language is used, and they started connecting with the people. That led to growth of becoming a very, very popular movement. And later it spread to where? It spread to northern India by the time of the 12th century. So genesis was there during South India on 5th, 6th centuries onwards. And bhakti principles almost similar to, we can look at the some similarities between bhakti and Sufi. Love towards God, and you can express that love through songs, bhajans, kirtans. Egalitarianism, social equality, that is also there in Sufi movement also. Okay, anyone can achieve nearness to God without any discrimination, without any caste discrimination. In spite of caste discrimination, you can achieve nearness to God also. Okay, the grace of God is quite important. You can take the grace of the God. And what it opposed caste system, it opposed untouchability, it opposed the rituals. Again, certain schools we can talk about, that is, they believed in the Vedas, they believed in the little bit supremacy of Brahmanism also. Okay, so they opposed the magical tendencies in Buddhism and Jainism, criticized them, and the magics in Hinduism also. And they were against the discrimination of women. They were against child marriages. Okay, they were against ban on widow remarriage. Okay, so that is trying to bring tolerance aspect in the society between religion also and between different hierarchical nature of the society also. Almost similar to Sufi. Now again, North India Bhakti movement we can talk about. It spread from south. Like I already told you, 5th and 6th centuries it is genesis in south. By the time of 10th, 11th, 12th centuries, it started to spread to northern India. At the same time, Islam influences could be seen in northern Indian Bhakti movement, and particularly the characteristics of Islam, particularly the monotheism concept. Okay, at the same equality and brotherhood concept of Islam, the rejection of rituals and class division. These are certainly influenced the Bhakti movement of the northern India. Okay, so tolerance aspect, that is what the Bhakti saints as well as Sufi saints, they engaged in mutual discussions. The exchange of the ideas happened between these two saints, we can say. Okay, so and these kind of influence of Islam could be seen in the teachings of Dadu Dayal, Kabir, Nanak, and Ramananda. So they all talked about the universal religion. All religions are same. This is what North Indian Bhakti movement is all about. Now schools of Bhakti, like how the schools of Sufi movement we have seen, that is Chishti, Suvarvadi, Naqshbandi, then again Qadri, all of them can be categorized on the basis of the belief system in Sharia, Bashara and Beshara. And even in Bhakti movement also, two kind of school system are there. One is Saguna, other one is Nirguna. And what is Saguna believes in? Saguna believes in God with attributes. It means you can give a shape to God. You can worship God in a human form also. Okay, and that is you can worship the idols of gods also. And they believed in Varnashrama Dharma. Okay, and they also believed in authority of the Vedas and Brahmins. Example, Tulsidas, Mirabai, Surdas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, and again Nirguna, little bit opposite of that one. That is God have no attributes. You can see God everywhere. Okay, you can realize God in either Rama, Vishnu, Krishna. Okay, but you cannot give him any kind of particular form also. There is omniscience. He is everywhere. Okay, omnipresent. That is Kabir, Nanak, Raidas are important. And no idol worship, but they believed in idol worship. Rejected Varnashrama Dharma, but they accepted Varnashrama Dharma. They rejected Varnashrama Dharma. They were against rituals. Okay, they were also against rituals actually. Okay, so Saguna also against some superstitious rituals too. But they went against superstitious rituals. And what are the similarities of Saguna and Nirguna is that one. Vernacular languages, that is a similarity. Personal relation with God, that is a similarity. And they were against superstitious rituals. Like I already mentioned, they were against superstitious rituals. So vernacular languages, that is a similarity because they use Hindi as a medium in northern India. In eastern India, Bengali as a medium. Okay, in South India, it's Kannada, Telugu and Tamil. They as the medium. and ever against superstitious. This is similarities, and the differences we have seen in terms of the conception of the god. That Saguna believes in idol worship, and Nirguna do not believe in idol worship. Okay, and some Bhakti saints teachings we can see. So many Bhakti saints name have been scattered across different PYQs. Now we will take one by one. First we will take Ramananda. These are completely factuals. Okay, nothing to understand. We have already understood what Ramananda, Kabir and Nanak is. They are Nirguna saints. So their teachings almost will be similar. Only time period will change, their place will change, and their worship will be changed. Okay. Then again Nirguna saint. So thought out Agra and Banaras. They can worship Lord Rama. Then against caste system. Nirguna saints. Okay. That is Bhakti movement. They can admitted disciples from lower caste also. If they are against caste system, they will accept disciples from lower caste also. Okay, and his follower was Kabir. Ramananda's follower was actually Ramananda. He is the follower of Ramanuja. Then Ramananda, and then again Kabir. And Kabir. Okay, so now come to Kabir. Now, Kabir question was asked 1398 to 1518. Then again, born to a Brahmin family in Banaras, grew up under Muslim weaver. Let us say led a married and householder life, and believed in pantheism. The pantheism means that one, that means God is everywhere. God is everywhere. And then again composed Bijak, that is Doha. The two lines we can talk about, that is a certain way of a style of composition of poems. And he believed in Nirguna, that is formless God. God cannot be given any kind of forms, and denounced rituals in Hinduism and Islam. Denounce rituals. And again he said that when book knowledge is not necessary, asceticism is not necessary to achieve salvation. And to achieve true knowledge also, you don't require to read any kind of scriptures. Okay, you don't require any kind of scriptures too. And we already seen in Adi Granth, in Guru Granth Sahib, the verses of Fariduddin Gandhi Shakar is also there, one of the Sufi saint. Then Kabir verses can also be seen in Adi Granth. Okay, that is holy book of Sikh religion. Then again he also believed in oneness of all religion, that is Rama, Allah, everyone is same, mosques and temples are all same. That is the concept of Kabir. Okay, and followers are Nanak and Raidas. Okay. Two things, that is followers, Raidas and Nanak. They are the followers of Kabir. Okay, and then again consider the following step 2014. Bijak, composition of teachings of Dadu Dayal. Already we see this question again for greater clarity. Then philosophy of Pushti Marg Pramod Badhacharya. No, we already seen. That is a different. So answer is none. We know that one. So Bijak is a composition of, that is Kabir. Okay, this slide is there twice. Okay, that is by Kabir. Now you can look at Nanak. Is from Lahore, 1469 to 1539. He was a storekeeper at Daulat Khan Lodi court. The greater stress on the purity of the character and the conduct, the individual character, the individual behavior, individual attitude plays an important role, and under the influence of a teacher. Under the influence of a teacher. That is, this is the first character. This is the first condition to approach the God. And then you can approach the God through the guidance of a spiritual teacher or need of a guru for guidance. Okay, need of the guru for guidance too. Okay, and then he was followed by a Muslim disciple wherever he went, Nanak, and that is with by Mardana, with a musical instrument that is called as Rabab. So he is a ardent follower of Nanak. Wherever Nanak went, he used to follow him with a musical instrument and singing the verses whichever composed by Nanak. And his followers are today called as Sikhs. That is Nanak. And then Dadu Dayal, Rajasthan, 1544 to 1603. He born as Muslim but grew up under Hindu cotton trader, like Ulta of Kabir. Kabir, that is, he born as Hindu but grew up under Muslim family. Then again, he was illiterate, Dadu Dayal. And his verses are collected by his followers, his disciples, in a book, the Bani, and the book is in Hindi. That's a collection of verses of teachings of Dadu Dayal. And his followers are also called as, become a kind of a cult following, Dadu Panthis. They expose the dead, like the Parsis, to the to animals also, to birds also. And they are Nirguna, follow the Kabir teachings. Again, whichever we are discussing about, Nanak, Kabir, Dadu Dayal. So everybody was Nirguna. And at the same time, they also believed in social equality and social tolerance. And that's what they believed in. And it can also be applied to Dadu Dayal also. Okay, so like I told you, that denounced the caste system against untouchability. That is, Dadu Dayal was against untouchability, and they also denounced the caste system as a whole. So now we are coming into Saguna Bhakti saints. That Saguna concept as we understood. That is, you can see one God, or you can give a form to God. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 1486-1533. He popularized Vaishnavism in Bengal, in Bengali language, through his kirtanas, and he spread the message of that Raga Marga. And that is, we can talk about ultimately the path of spontaneous love was the best for salvation. Using music, using kirtanas, you can achieve nearness to God, and that was Chaitanya. Then again, Surdas, 1483-1563, is a follower of Vallabhacharya. He popularized Krishna cult in UP, and is the author of Sursagara, his poems. His poems are called as Sursagar, that is Surdas. Again, Saguna saint. Again, Tulsidas, 1532-1623, worshipper of Rama, and composed Ramcharitmanas. Again, this was in news for unknown reasons. He also composed Hanuman Chalisa. That is Tulsidas, 1532-1623, worshipper of Rama. And he, again, Saguna saints believed in idol worship. So Tulsidas also believed in idol worship. Okay, then again Mirabai, she is from Sisodia dynasty of Chittor, one of the Rajput families, 1498-1569, and devotee of Krishna, and she popularized Krishna cult in Rajasthan through her songs. So Krishna cult in Rajasthan became very famous because of the songs of Mirabai. Then again Bhakti movement in Maharashtra is there. So we talked about Sufi movement, we talked about Bhakti movement. Again, one question we talked about in Atal culture, Pandarpur, Chandrabhaga river, and that Pandarpur movement is also called as Bhakti movement in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Bhakti movement is concentrated in that particular region. Okay, so that is Maharashtra Dharma, it is also called as, around the shrine of Vitoba or Vittal, or the manifestation of Krishna, the residing deity of Pandarpur. So this was there in one of the answer options. So again, as a manifestation of Krishna, Utilise manifestation of Krishna, also called as Pandarpur movement. So look at how themes can get repeated. Keep on anticipating questions. It's kind of a cultural revolution in Maharashtra because it helped in the politicization of the Maharashtra people. At the same time, the cultural revolution, the women empowerment also happened. Maharashtra nationalism grew, and this Maharashtra movement directly related to Shivaji establishing his Maratha kingdom. Led to development of Maratha literature also, elevation of the status of women, then breaking caste barriers within Maharashtra society. So it's kind of a cultural revolution within Maharashtra state or among the Marathis. So classification of Bhakti movement in Maharashtra, it's called as Varkari and Darkaris. Varkari means those who believe in Yatra to Pandarpur, one who perform the Wari. Okay, that is Varkaris. The Wari means Yatra to perform. That is pilgrimage to Pandarpur. And these are the devotees of God Vittal of Pandarpur. Okay, and they believed in strict adherence, moral behavior, then avoidance of alcohol and tobacco. That's what they believed in. Okay, and examples of Varkaris are Dhaneshwar, Namadev, Chokamela, Ekanath, as well as Tukaram. Again, Darkaris are there who did not believe in Wari. They believed that God is everywhere. We don't need to get into Pandarpur. God is omnipresent. So no need for pilgrimage. And also followers of Ramdas. Okay, and also they believed in harmonious relationship between the worldly life as a spiritual life. So you can balance both. Spirituality also you can, as well as the normal life, ordinary life also. And they believe they are the followers of the cult of Ramdas. Ramdas is one of the Bhakti saints of Maharashtra Dharma. And this Dhaneshwar, Namadev, Chokamela, Ekanath and Tukaram, these are the Bhakti saints of Maharashtra Dharma. But their system is Varkaris, and their system, Ramdas system was Darkaris. Okay. And now we will discuss all these personalities. Dhaneshwar, Dhanadeva is a Varkari, and 13th century, 1275 to 1296, founder of Maharashtra Dharma, and that is Maharashtra Dharma is Maharashtra Bhakti movement. It was work in Marathi, two works in Marathi, that is both are in Marathi, that is Dhaneshwari, a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, and then again Amrutanubhav. These were written by Dhaneshwar, also called Dhanadeva. Okay. And then non-dualistic Advaita Vedanta philosophy. So all these are Advaita, again little bit Shankaracharya's influence, again Shankaracharya's influence again coming from Vedanta philosophy. So non-dualistic Advaita Vedanta philosophy. And again emphasis on yoga and bhakti towards Vitoba. Yoga and bhakti. So that is Maharashtra Dharma, one of the famous saints, and that is Dhaneshwar. And then again we'll talk about Namadeva, 14th century, he preached love. Most of his followers were untouchables, and is also regarded as one of the founders of this Varkari tradition. The first tradition we talked about, the Varkari, performing Wari, they're going on pilgrimage. So that credit is given to Namadeva. Okay. Around again 14th century. Ekanath, he composed Abhangas, which are poems in 16th century. Then again he wrote Bhavarta Ramayana. Another work, Rukmini Swayamvar Rastamalak. Okay. Again Marathi. Tukaram, 17th century. That is contemporary of Shivaji. Shivaji got influenced by them. Ramdas also influenced Shivaji. And he preached Maratha nationalism. Like I told, it's a cultural revolution in Maharashtra. Which one? The Maharashtra Dharma. So it led to growth of Marathi nationalism also. One of few more saints, Ramdas Darkari. And he combined spirituality and politics. Shivaji also got influenced by them. And he also authored, that is the Dashabodha. It's an encyclopedia. It's an encyclopedia on all aspects of life. So every aspect of life that is being discussed in this particular book we can talk about. So these are the famous saints of Maharashtra Dharma. So Ramdas, Namadev, Tukaram, Ekanath, okay, then again Dhaneshwar. And then again one more saint, that is Narsim Mehta, and this is not Maharashtra Dharma. Okay, so not the saint of Maharashtra, it is a standalone. And 15th century poet is a saint from Gujarat, and is also called as first poet or Adi Kavi of Gujarati language, devotee of Krishna, and particularly his composition, the Vaishnava Janto, a bhajan, one of the favorites of Mahatma Gandhi ji. So again, I told you that this is not related to Maharashtra Dharma. Not related to Maharashtra Dharma. So this is about Narsim Mehta. So one of the saints which is related to Mahatma Gandhi, because Mahatma Gandhi is one of the favorite topics of UPSC, keeps asking questions. So that is the reason I have covered it here. And that one theme got over. And with reference to cultural history of medieval India, consider the following statements. Siddhas or Siddhars to Tamil region were monotheistic and condemned idolatry. Then again, Lingayats of Kannada region questioned the theory of rebirth and rejected the caste hierarchy. And the Lingayatism, I think I briefly mentioned in art and culture session. We will see here one more time, Lingayat. Okay, so Siddhas or Siddhars, yes, they are monotheistic, and Lingayats, that is particularly Basavarna movement, that is answer is C. So Lingayat movement is majorly aided by Basavarna. Okay, Basavarna. And who are the Siddhas or Siddhars in Tamil region? Again, these are all, again, it is also part of the Bhakti movement itself only. The tolerance attitude in the society, as well as we can say reform of the society, related to same thing. So look at that one, Siddhar or Siddhas. It means a perfected individual who has attained spiritual powers called Siddhi, who are wanderers, who are knowledgeable, and they go back to first Sangam, the time period of Sangam age, Sangam literature. They goes back to first Sangam itself only. And who is the first Siddhas? Agastya, the first Sangam of Tamil poets, where Sangam literature was composed. It goes back to that point of time. Agastya is the first Siddhar. And there are 18 Siddhars in Tamil tradition. So, but the first Siddhar was Agastya. First Siddhar was Agastya. It means the person who achieved more knowledge is also wanderer, at the same time is also called a Siddhi. Believed in oneness of all creation, again Advaita, oneness of all creation, is monotheistic, and also created Siddha medicine. It's an indigenous medicine system, and that also led to growth of this Siddhas movement. That also led to growth of indigenous medicine system called Siddha, like Ayurveda, Ayush, the full form of Ayush, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and that medicine we are talking about. Okay, and then again, founders of Varma Kalai. It's a martial art. Again, one martial art of the South India we discuss, Kalariyapattu from Kerala, Parshuram, legend, created that one. Now they are also founder of one martial art that is called as Varma Kalai. Varma Kalai. Then again, Lingayatism in Karnataka, wearers of Linga, founder was Basavarna. That means they used to wear Linga, Shiva Linga, and this is during the time period of Kalyani Chalukyas and their feudatories Kalachuris, and the Kalachuris king Bijala. Okay, and during his time period, that is around 11th century. Between 11th to 12th century, and that is when Lingayatism was developed. And he questioned the caste hierarchy, and the founder, like I already mentioned, was Basavarna. And sent him after the death, unite with Shiva. So no belief in rebirth. There is no belief in rebirth. They were against magic. They criticized Buddhism, Jainism, the magical tendencies in this particular religion. Okay, and sent women empowerment also, equality of the society. And now it is becoming a dominant caste in Karnataka. Lingayatism, it's becoming a dominant caste in Karnataka too. Okay. So this Lingayatism, that is Siddhas or Siddhars that we talked about. Okay, that is in Tamil region, this is in Karnataka region. Okay, so this is Karnataka. Lingayatism is in Karnataka region. And now one question was asked, certain administrative terms questions were asked in UPSC. So in medieval India, the designation Mahattara and Pattakila was used for military officers, village headmen, again specialists in Vedic rituals, again chiefs of craft guilds. Again guilds, one question was asked. Okay, but this is just mentioned answer option. This answer option is actually these are village headmen. Certain terms are there in medieval India for village headmen like Kats, Makaddams, Chowdhuris. Okay, so the terms I have given here, these are factuals only. Kotwal is a town administrator, Potwaris are accountants, then Kats, Chowdhuris and Mukaddams at the village level, and Mukaddams are village headmen and Kats are zamindars, and Chowdhuris are hereditary landholders, kind of a zamindars only. Okay, these are the medieval terms associated with administration. Medieval terms associated with administration, we can say. Okay, and then Banjaras, again related to economic life of medieval history, which are generally who these Banjaras are: agriculturists, warriors, weavers, and traders. Two types of concept you need to understand in medieval India. It is Baniya and Banjaras. Baniyas as well as Banjaras. Baniyas are local traders. They were local trade. It means they used to purchase from peasants the goods. They used to take it to local market at the village level. We can say village to town. These are called as Baniyas. And from this local market, the goods were transferred to bigger cities, metropolitan kind of cities market, like we can talk about Delhi, okay, Agra, then we can talk about Lahore, Pune, medieval cities we can talk about. And this trade was in the hands of Banjaras. That is long distance traders. Long distance traders. But these are short term traders, or we can are short distance traders, or local traders. These are long distance traders. And they are protected by the state. They were given protection by the state through soldiers. They need to pay certain kind of commission to state because they were very specialized in bulk commodities, movement of bulk commodities from one area to another area, from local area to bigger area. So Banjaras basically meaning D, that is traders. Banjaras are traders. Got it? Okay, so this one term was asked in 2016. There's a two concepts, Baniyas as well as Banjaras, you need to understand. Like I told you, Baniyas are local traders, Banjaras are long distance traders. And Alauddin Khalji, he had appointed one official to look after his Baniyas and Banjaras. They are called as Shahana, kind of a market supervisors. Kind of market, because Alauddin Khalji is known for his market reforms. So three kinds of markets he established: the food grains market, then again we can talk about the cloths market, the slaves market, as well as horses market. And to control the prices of all those goods, so he used to register Baniyas and Banjaras, and he appointed an official Shahana to look after market, to look after Baniyas and Banjaras also. Okay. And then with reference to history of India, consider the following statement. 2020, Aurang in charge of treasury of the state, Baniyan Indian agent of the East India Company, Mirasidar designated revenue payer to the state. Okay, what is the answer? How many pairs are correct? 2020. That is answer is, it has to be B. Okay, because Baniyan is fine. Okay, and these are appointed by East India companies as a translators. Because when they came, obviously did not know the local language. They wanted local helps in purchase of the commodities. They used Baniyans, Mirasidars, and particularly in Royatwari areas. What is Royatwari system? Because we're trying to link modern India also. The peasants need to pay direct taxation to the government, and those peasants sometimes during this point of time they are called as Mirasis also. Okay, Aurang is a different term, and that is used as a warehouse or workshop where the goods collected before being sold. Baniya merchants are interpreters employed by Western traders. Okay, they are Indian traders, they are employed by the Western traders like East India Company. Mirasidars under Rohitwari system, peasants who do pay revenue directly to the state. This system is there. These are all factuals. Okay, so nothing conceptual clarity is there. So it's all about factuals. We're just revising all the PYQs ones. So this is give you a certain sense about what kind of PYQs were asked. 545. That is, we can talk about that is 2014 one question was asked, that is Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri was, it is one of the religious reforms of Akbar, whether it was a mosque for the use of royal family, Akbar's private chamber, or the hall in which Akbar held discussion with the scholars of various religions, a room in which a noble band different religions gathered for religious discussion affairs. Answer is C actually. So Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri, built around the saint, one of the Sufi saint cell, where Akbar used to have religious discussions. First initially only for Islam scholars came, later he allowed it to other scholars also, even atheists also came to know the real truth behind every religion. But instead of discussion, these people started wrangling among each other, they started arguing among each other, like we are seeing in our TV debates today. So that is the reason Akbar disappointed with that one and he closed this particular hall in 1582. So this is called as Ibadat Khana. This one, Ibadat Khana debates, it's a prayer hall at Fatehpur Sikri in UP, established in 1572. It's a rectangular hall around the cell of a Sufi saint, the Sheikh Abdullah Niyaz Sirhindi. It's a discussion on religion, first open only to Islamic or theologians or Sufis, then open to all other religion, even to atheists also, that is don't believe in God. And why? To ascertain the real truth behind every religion. What is the real truth behind every religion? Okay, so to remove differences among them, he also held this discussion, but these people argued instead of debates. So Akbar disappointed and closed in 1582. Okay, so closed this particular debate hall in 1582. So other concept of Akbar is that Din-e-Ilahi, like I already told you, was an ethical society. Din-e-Ilahi, kind of an ethical society, it's not a new religion. So certain rules and regulations are there. Akbar is the teacher of this particular sect, not sect but rather kind of ethical society. Then again Salhekal, Salhekal, some pronounce as Sulekal also. Okay, so this is peace to all, it is a basic meaning, peace to all. So Akbar believed that, third one, it's a duty of the ruler to maintain peace and harmony in the society. That is, maintain tolerance, attitude in the society. So make sure one religious people are not interfering in other religion duties, and that is called a Salhekal principle. Din-e-Ilahi as well as Salhekal. Okay, and then consider the following pairs. Arrival of Babur into India led to the introduction of gunpowder into subcontinent, introduction of the arch and dome in the region's architecture, establishment of Timurid dynasty in the region. See, gunpowder came to India, Babur came to India in 16th century, that is 1526. Again, same typical question was asked, when Babur came to India, which Sufi saint was there? Okay, and now arch and dome, it came with Delhi Sultans. Delhi Sultans came when Ghazni, Kori, during a slave dynasty way back in 12th century itself only, 11th and 12th century. Timurid dynasty is also called as the Mughals dynasty, because Mughals have Timur ancestry, Genghis Khan ancestry. Basic things all these are. So should be the answer 3 only, right? 1 and 2, 3 only, 1 and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, but this was gunpowder. It came to India in 13th century itself only. 13th, 14th century only. Mongols already had brought this gunpowder into India. Answer B. Because Babur brought new kind of guns. He brought new kind of guns. Okay, bigger guns, artillery guns he brought. But the gunpowder itself is Chinese invention actually, and that around 100 AD itself only. Then later that came to India through Mongols. Okay, that is 4 great inventions of China. That is compass, gunpowder, paper making and printing. Okay, so paper making came to India in and around 13th century. Okay, then gunpowder of course came with the Mongols to India. Gunpowder came with in 13th and 14th century itself only, and that is introduced by early Mongol invaders, because this was gunpowder was used by in the conflict between Vijayanagara and Bahmanis. And Vijayanagara Bahamanis, the Bahamani was established in 1346-47. Vijayanagara was established in 1336. They are contemporaries, and in their conflicts only we can see the usage of guns, gunpowder. Okay, and then who among the following emperors shifted the emphasis from illustrated manuscript to album and individual portrait? We talk on portraits, portrait paintings in Mughal times, and everybody knows this is a very famous information in Mughal India. That is, we know that is Jahangir. Jahangir was quite fond of his own portraits. Okay, so having taking portrait selfies. Okay, so Jahangir was famous for. Now again, these answer options are there: Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Babur. Where it is repeated. So that is the reason we will see Mughal kings in detail. All the Mughal kings in detail. Babur, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and then again we will also talk about Aurangzeb also. Okay, so that's what we will see. And of course, little bit development of that particular question. Famous painters in Jahangir's court, certain names are there: Ustad Mansur, Abdul Hasan, Farooq Beg, Murad Madhav. Okay, these are some of the questions, we can say some of the painters in Jahangir court. But normal paintings were there, but he made it as portrait paintings. And again, Yoga Vasistha was translated into Persian by Nizamuddin Panipati during the reign of Akbar. Again, answer options are there: Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan, Humayun and Akbar. We will see that one also. All the kings we are going to see. But before that, we will see what is Yoga Vasistha. Yoga Vasistha, that is also known as Maharamayana or Arsha Ramayana or Vasistha Ramayana, and dated to between 6th century to 15th century. There is no very vague date is there, and at the same time it is attributed to Maharshi Vasistha. That is also very vague. Date is also vague because look at that one: 6th century AD to 15th century AD. So there is nearly 1,000 years of history is given for this particular book, and that is quite vague. Yoga Vasistha, but that translated into Persian as ordered by Akbar, and Jahangir also ordered that one. Okay, so it is called as Jug Basist in Persia. Okay, it's a collection of 6 books. It's in verses form. Verses means poems. Verses means poems. Okay, this is Yoga Vasistha, and that is also in Maharamayana. Time period is quite vague, and who wrote is also quite vague, but these are in verses. But it definitely translated into Persia on the orders of Akbar and Jahangir. But the answer option, there was no Jahangir, there was Akbar was there. That is the reason we went with that one, and called as Jug Basist in Persia. And again, Nakib Khan. Okay, so that is Akbar's book reader, Nakib Khan, because Akbar was illiterate. Akbar never had the formal education, and this particular person, one department Akbar had, a translation department, and the head of that department was Nakib Khan. He supervised many translations of many textbooks. Okay, translation department was called as Maktab Khana, and most of this translation into Persian language happened. And Atharvaveda by Aji Brahmin Sirindi. Okay, just look at this list. Okay, Ramayana by Badoni, and Lilavati by Faizi, and then again Mahabharata as Raznama. Okay, that is a book of war by Faizi and Badoni. So these are all the literature that happened, or we can say that is some of the famous Hindu literature that got translated into Persian languages, particularly from that particular translation department. And the translation department is called as Maktab Khana, and the head of that translation department was Nakib Khan, who is also personal reader to Akbar. And some more literature of Akbar time period. So all the lists I have given over here. You can just go through these ones. You can read these ones. That is Babur. He himself wrote Tuzuki Babri in Turkey language. It's an autobiography of Babur. Okay, it's an autobiography of Babur. Then it translated as Babarnama into Persian by Abdul Rahim Khan. Then again, Aini Akbari and Akbarnama written by Abul Fazl. Then again, Jahangir's autobiography by Jahangir himself, Tuzuki Jahangiri. And most of them are in Persian itself only. Then Iqbalnama-i Jahangiri, Mutamid Khan, it's a biography of Jahangir. Again, Parshanama, biography of Shah Jahan by Abdul Lahori and Inayat Khan. Then Majma'ul Bahrain, the confluence of two seas by Darashiko. Dara also translated Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads into Persian. Then Fatwa-i Alangiri, it's one of the famous law book, particularly Islamic law books. It's compiled by many scholars in Arabic and Persian, but it was during the time period of Aurangzeb, Fatwa-i Alamgiri, time period of Aurangzeb. Okay, and then again Nushko-i Dilkusha, okay, that is by Bhimsen. Alamgirnama by Muhammad Kazim bin Amin. Muntabkab, okay, by Kafi Khan. These are some of the Mughal literature. So these are some of the Mughal literature too. And like I've already mentioned, that is in some of the answer option, Humayun, Akbar, Babur, as you mentioned. In some of the medieval other questions also, some Vijayanagara emperors are mentioned, like Krishnadevaraya. Like I told you, Krishnadevaraya was mentioned in one of the ancient questions that we will discuss here. And certain kings also have been, king's name in answer options have been given, we will discuss. But these Mughal kings answer options have given many times. So we will see all the kings once. Okay, we'll see them. So now we will see all the Mughal rulers, because the Mughal rulers' names have been repeated in couple of PYQs, and that is the reason we will see some of major consolidation, the Mughal rulers, the origin, and which are Sultan, the 6 sultans we are going to see, and then expansion and consolidation, because their war and everything. Okay, culturally they ask for portraits also, nothing about, because Babur's interaction led to certain kind of changes also. That in guns, new kind of guns he introduced, that kind of one question is getting repeated. So that is the reason that we will see politically from the angle of certain facts. So origin, like in Mughals, is a designation for their own term. Is actually the term they use is Gurkhani. So Persians means sons-in-law. So that is the word the most Mughals use for their particular dynasty, Gurkhani dynasty. And the use of the Mughal term is due to the Mughal is a corrupted form of Mongol, because these people have some Mongol origin, and particularly in Arabic and Persian, some kind of corrupted term of Mongol became Mughal. Okay, at the same time the emphasis is Mongols origin of the Timurid dynasty, and that is the Changiz and Timur genealogy this Babur comes from. At the same time, as they were oriented towards Persian rather than Turco-Mongol culture more, even though their origin in Mongol is there, but they're more of affinity towards the Persian culture. The Persian culture is Iran and Iraq culture. Okay. At the same time, Mughal administrative records refer to empire as the country of Hindustan, and documented in Aini Akbari. We discussed Aini Akbari during the time period of Akbar. So okay, Mughal administrative records refer to the empire as country of Hindustan, and they call themselves as Gurkhani dynasty. And at the same time, they're more oriented towards Persian in spite of their origin towards Mongol region. Okay, now the kings, there are, we can talk about 6 kings are there. So that is mighty Mughals, they are also called as Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, as well as Aurangzeb. So you can just go through these kings once, 1526-30, 1530-40, because in between he got defeated by Sher Shah. Sher Shah defeated Humayun. So Sur Empire was being ruling from 1540 to 1555. Then restoration of Mughals happened. Then Akbar 1556 to 1605, Jahangir 1605 to 1627, Shah Jahan 2728 to 1658, and Aurangzeb 1658 to 1707. And later Mughals came, who are very weak. These are mighty Mughals. These 6 people are very powerful, very powerful. So we will discuss particularly their political importance in Indian history, and then we will go to some other PYQs. So what is Babur? So Babur, that is Zairuddin Muhammad, his original name is, and his name is the descendant of Timur Khan also, or Timur as well as Genghis Khan, also Genghis Khan, and Timur from the father's side, and then again Genghis Khan from the mother's side, respectively. Okay, they born in Uzbekistan, but he faced a lot of rebellion over there, and he had ascended the throne in Akshikent. Okay, so it's a Fargana, that's the throne of Fargana in the capital Akshikent in 1494, but he faced a lot of rebellion from the localites, and that is the reason he oriented towards India. Because why he claimed India? Timur had come to India in 1398. He ransacked Tughlaq dynasty, and that led to a Sayyid dynasty in around end of the 14th century, the beginning of the 15th century. And now Babur reclaimed the area of India, because he felt like that Timur had come to India and he occupied India, particularly Delhi. So that is the reason he came towards India, and also because he was facing a lot of rebellion over there. Invasion of India, of course, happened in 1526. Ibrahim Lodi, Sultan of Delhi, he got defeated at Battle of Panipat in 1526. Again, Daulat Khan Lodi, the governor of Lahore, governor of Punjab provinces. So he invited Babur to defeat Ibrahim Lodi. So particularly Daulat Khan Lodi also, as well as Alauddin, uncle of Ibrahim Lodi. They invited Babur to defeat Ibrahim Khan Lodi. And again, later one more battle happened, Battle of Kanwa with Rana Sanga of Mewa, that is Rajput kingdom, 1527. He defeated Rana Rana in this particular battle. And also this battle was one of the first in India that featured cannons and muskets. Particularly these battles, that question was asked about, that is Babur introduced gunpowder, not the gunpowder but the new kind of cannons and muskets that were being used. And in the Rana Sanghas, he got defeated because some of his Hindu chief like Silhadi, he joined Babur's army. Kind of treason was very common during the medieval times because everything was looked at from the political angle. So at the same time, he recognizes Sangha's skills in leadership, Babur, and he also talks highly about the contemporary king of Vijayanagara, that was Krishna Deva Raya. We'll talk about Krishna Deva Raya also. So that is two of the greatest non-Muslim kings, he say. And particularly he recognized Sangha as well as Krishna Deva Raya, Sri Krishna Deva Raya. Deva Rayas are different, Sri Krishna Deva Raya is different. A further expansion happened. The Battle of Chanderi happened in Madhya Pradesh. Chanderi is in Madhya Pradesh, 1528. Medin Rai was also one of the vassals of Rana Sangha and was also ruler of Malwa, who wanted to help Rana Sangha. And Rana Sangha was seeking the help of Medin Rai after he got defeated at Battle of Kandwa. And that is the reason Babur attacked Medin Rai in Malwa and he defeated him. Babur wanted to isolate Rana Sangha from getting any kind of help from Medin Rai. He was giving any kind of help to Mewar. Mewar was under the control of, we can say, Rana Sangha. And Medin Rai and his family committed Jowar. And inside the fort, that is the Malwa fort we are talking about. These are the three battles of Babur that we can talk about: Battle of Panipat, Battle of Kandwa, Rana Sangha, and associated Battle of Rana Sangha, or we can say Battle of Kandwa is Battle of Chanderi, that is with Medin Rai. Okay, because Medin Rai wanted to help Rana Sangha. And of course, general facts about Babur, that is, he wrote Babur Nama, his autobiography, and he translated into Persian during the time period of Akbar. And unlike most monarchies which practice primogeniture, and that is giving the throne to the elder son, but the Timurids and Genghis, they did not follow this particular policy. Rather, they divided the empire among the sons instead of transferring the throne to the eldest son. So they used to divide this. The same kind of following also we can see in this area too. And again, he brought new big guns into India, that new artillery. They are called as Kazan. One gun is called as, then a second gun is called as Zurbara. There is light guns as well as heavy guns, two artillery guns. So these are the new things that brought by Babur. So now new practices with Babur, and that practice is different. Instead of eldest son, dividing among the brothers. Dividing among the brothers of the entire empire. But that did not play out really well in India, because ultimately that primogeniture battle continued in, it was there in Hindu families also, it was there in Delhi Sultans also, it was there in Mughal families also, because especially after Akbar, the transition of the throne was not quite smooth. So these are new things, that is Babur introduced two new guns, and that is Kazan as well as Zurbar, that is light artillery as well as heavy artillery. Then Humayun, not so important from politically. Then again, Mirza Nasruddin Muhammad, he ruled in two periods in India, 1530 to 40, then again 55 to 56, only 1 year, and later expanded with the aid of the Safavid dynasty of Persia. In India, he expanded the Mughal empire further between 1530 to 40 with the help of Iranian empire. And even when he got defeated by Sher Shah, he went back to Iran and he took the help of Safavids again. Then he came back and he reconquered India. Okay. And then by annexing Gujarat, Malwa and Champanar and great fort of Mandu also, from whom they are occupied, from Sultan of Bahadur, that is Gujarat Sultan. At the same time, it's also called as the Muzaffarid dynasty. From Muzaffarid dynasty, he occupied the places like Gujarat, Malwa, Champaner, and again Mandu fort. Muzaffarid dynasty. Then again, Mughals had obtained the firearms, the new kind of firearms from Ottoman Empire, because there were three great empires were there during the Mughal times. One is the Mughal Empire, another one is the Persian Empire, that is the Safavid Empire, and the third great empire was the Ottoman Empire also. The Chinese Empire was also there, that is also one of the greatest empire that was called during that point of time. But majorly these three Islamic empires were there, that is Ottoman, Safavid as well as the Mughal Empire. Okay, so this is Humayun. Briefly we can talk about, that is expanded, occupied Gujarat and Malwa from Sultan of Bahadur from Muzaffarid dynasty. And then Humayun versus Sher Shah story. Sher Shah defeated him in two battles. One is Battle of Chauza in 1539 in Bihar. Okay, so because Sher Shah, his major area is around Bihar region only, river Ganges. Then he also defeated in Battle of Kanuj in 1540. Kanuj is in UP. Okay, in these two battles, that is Chauza and Kanuj, Humayun got completely defeated. Then Humayun went to Iran. And Sher Shah occupied Delhi, Agra and Lahore. That is the major areas of Mughals during that point of time, and resulted in Humayun exile for 15 years in the court of Shah Tamas. That is, pronunciation could be different. He was the Safavid emperor in Iran and Iraq. And then again, Rao Maldio Rathor of Marwar, he allied with Sher Shah against Humayun. So one of the rulers, that is Rathor, that is Rao Maldio Rathor. So he helped Sher Shah in defeating Humayun. So these are the two battles associated with Humayun and Sher Shah. That is Battle of Chauza and Battle of Kannauj. Then a restoration of the Mughals happened in 1555-56 because Sher Shah Suri had died in 1545 because he had established Sur Empire in 1540. Okay, he died in 1545. Then again conflicts happened within the Sur Empire. Okay, his son and successor Islam Shah died in 1554. And then again these two deaths, particularly two important rulers of Sur dynasty, Sher Shah and Islam Shah, and that created some kind of conflicts. And the Sur Empire was disintegrating. And that is the reason Humayun wanted to reconquer India. And that is the reason he used Bairam Khan and leadership of the same family member. So Bairam Khan led the army against the Sur Empire and led to Battle of Sirhind in Punjab. This is the first battle we can talk about on 22nd June 1555. And the armies of Sikandar Shah Suri belonged to Sher Shah Suri's family. He got defeated by Bairam Khan in Battle of Sirhind, that is in Punjab. Okay, but the Mughal Empire was re-established in India. But again, Surs could able to recapture one more time. Second restoration happened. I think many people have heard about there is a second battle of Panipat, okay, where Akbar defeated Yemu, one of the officials of the Sur Empire, and also who declared himself as king also, M. Chandra, Yemu. And that is the actual restoration of Mughals. But the first restoration happened with Battle of Sirhind with Bairam Khan. And then again Akbar, later we were trying to complete Humayun over here. Akbar asked his paternal aunt Gulbadan Begum to write the biography of Humayun, and that led to Humayun Nama. So Humayun Nama was written by Gulbadan Begum during the time period of Akbar. And then Akbar will coming into. So we talked about Babur, we talked about Humayun. Humayun got defeated Chauza and Kannauj. He went back. Then again with the help of Safavid dynasty as well as with the help of Bairam Khan, he restored Mughals in 1555 in Battle of Sirhind. Okay, but later what happened? I will come to that one. That is Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, 1555 to 1605, and he was under regent Bairam Khan. Bairam Khan looking after the empire when Akbar was minor. Okay, and then again military innovation we can say. Sought the help of Ottomans as well as Europeans, especially the Portuguese and the Italians. Advanced artilleries, firearms were built. Okay, especially Akbar took a special interest in that one. Gunpowder use was expanding. Gunpowder, I told you, came back to India during the time of Mongols only. Okay, combined gunpowder to make bombs. Okay, big artilleries, big guns. Babur already had influence, already introduced the big guns, and now again even bigger guns were being introduced by Akbar. Okay, and then the Mughal consolidation. The Surs reconquered Agra and Delhi following the death of Humayun. Because Humayun, with the help of Bairam Khan, Battle of Sirhind happened, restoration of Mughals happened, and now Mughals again got defeated by Surs, and now they face Yemu, a minister and general of the Sur rulers, a Hindu. Okay, so now that led to second battle of Panipat in 1556, where Akbar and Bairam Khan completely defeated Sur Empire as well as Yemu, and now reconquered Delhi and Agra, and now the complete restoration of Mughals happened. Now the consolidation of the Mughal time period started. Consolidation of the Mughals started in India. Okay, so that is Babur, Humayun, then again Akbar. Akbar again, more battles we can talk about, and that is he defeated Malwa ruler, he is an Afghan ruler, actually Baz Bahadur. That is in, we can talk about 1561. After second battle of Panipat we can talk about, that is battle of Sarangpur. So he conquered Malwa. Okay, particularly Akbar's commanders, that is Adam Khan and Pir Muhammad Khan. So they defeated Baz Bahadur. So now Malwa became part of Mughals, because now we are expansion of Mughal Empire is happening. Again, one small area we can talk about Gar Katanga. So it is in central India in modern Gondwana region, and Gond tribes inhabited this particular name. That is the reason that particular name will come, and that is in Jabalpur. Name of two towns, that is Gar Gad, probably non-Tibetan pronunciation. Okay, Katangi, that is Jabalpur. It was ruled by one of the few women rulers we can see. It's a Rajput women ruler, that is Rani Durgavati. She sent her brother, sent her minister initially to have negotiation with Akbar, because Akbar was asking for his suzerainty, expanding his suzerainty for peace, but negotiation had failed. And now what happened? This army was defeated at Damoha by Asaf Khan. This Garkatanga was defeated at Damoha by Asaf Khan. And then later what happened? In 1564, the Rani preferred to stab herself to death. Asaf Khan now advanced to capital Chauragad, so the capital of Garkatanga. Okay, and then again It was restored to Chandrasha, this particular kingdom, a brother of Rani's deceased husband by Akbar. Deceased Akbar by Akbar. Now it ruled as under suzerainty of Mughals, we can talk about. So after taking important forts, Mughals took all the important forts, and now this particular kingdom was placed under Chandrasha, okay, brother of Rani Durga was his husband. Okay, so this is how this particular place also came under the supremacy of Mughals. First they tried to negotiate, that failed, and now Rani got defeated, and in particular at Damoa by Asaf Khan, she stabbed herself to death. Then Mughal army advanced towards the capital. Now it was restored to Rani's brother-in-law, that is Chandrasha, and later this particular kingdom accepted the supremacy of the Mughals, and then again Mughals took all the important forts of this particular kingdom. Okay, so it is around Jabalpur in central India. Then Rajputana, you can talk about strategically important, and also the Mughals used the help of Rajputs in expansion of their particular empire in India. And also at the same time, it was a rival center of power that flanked the Indo-Gangetic plains. And particularly to deal with Rajputs, Akbar used warfare also as well diplomacy also. And most of the Rajput states accepted Akbar's suzerainty or Mughal suzerainty. But however, certain rulers, particularly rulers of Uday Singh II and Marwar, Chandrasen Rathod, and they remained outside the imperial fold. Imperial fold, it means we are talking about the Mughals imperialism. Okay, Mughals imperialism. Okay, the Marwar region and again Mewar region, Marwar King Chandrasen Rathod and Uday Singh II of Mewar, they remained outside the fold of Akbar's suzerainty most of the time. And then Mewar, we talk about, this was very strategically very important and the shortest route from Agra to Gujarat. Okay, so this was very very important for Akbar to have most control over Mewar, and also considered this key for holding interior parts of Rajputana, because if you control Mewar, you are controlling entire Rajputana over there. And also Uday Singh, he had offended Akbar by giving some kind of asylum to Baz Bahadur. We talked about Baz Bahadur. Okay, Malwa, conquering of Malwa by Akbar. So Baz Bahadur had taken refuge at Uday Singh because Baz Bahadur was he was the ousted ruler of Malwa. And Uday Singh descendant from Sisodia dynasty, same Rana Sangha, Battle of Khandwa, Babar, the same dynasty we are talking about. Okay, so now when Chittorgarh fort was attacked by Akbar in 1567 and 1568, it fell into Akbar. But again, a lot of problems happened. It was not so easy for Akbar to defeat this particular thing. Out of frustration, Akbar asked for general slaughter of the king, a general slaughter of people also. This is one of the first time and the last time that is Akbar gave these kind of orders to slaughter people also, because he defeated or he tasted certain kind of defeats, even though the fort became part of, our fort also fell into the hands of Mughals, but he faced a lot of defeats, a lot of losses. So that is the reason he wanted to take revenge against the people, and that is a reason there is a lot of slaughtering of people happened over there. Okay, so last time Akbar ordered such kind of slaughters over there, and that is 1568 we can say, 67, 68. And then again Mewar again, Maharana Pratap, he succeeded to the Gaddi. Again Jalal Khan Karchi and Man Singh tried to negotiate with Rana to accept the Akbar's suzerainty, but no avail. He wanted to fight and war was inevitable, and a contingent of Akbar's army was led by Man Singh, and Maharana Pratap army was led by Hakim Kansur. They were Afghans. Okay, so under Maharana Pratap. Okay, and then at the same time Battle of Aldigati, very famous battle, and it happened in 1576. Failed to capture Pratap. Maharana Pratap was not quite easy to defeat. Then again it was a stalemate kind of situation. Ultimately reluctantly retreated because both sides were equally powerful. So Maharana Pratap, that is, he retreated, but later he started some guerrilla warfare. He was not ready to accept any kind of defeat, and then he continued guerrilla warfare, surprise attacks against Mughals. Mughals were harassed. Okay, so and at the same time he started recovering the lost territories from Mughals, and only by the time of Jahangir, Akbar couldn't able to bring Mewar under the complete control of Mughals. But later Jahangir, with the help of Shah Jahan, son of Jahangir, so they brought Mewar under the complete control of Mughals. Okay, so this is Mewar, and particularly the Mewar, first time we talked about Chittorgarh, then the second time we talked about Aldigati. and then some other Rajput states which came under the control of Mughals during Akbar times. So that is Mughal attack on Ranthambore Fort. It is very, very important, one of the important Rajput areas. It is ruled by Ada Rajputs, who are also descendants of Chauhan Rajputs. Rajput Chauhans, okay, that's a very powerful Rajputs. So their descendants were ruling over Ranthambore, and that was attacked in 1568 and was the most powerful fortress in India, particularly the Ranthambore Fort. And even Alauddin Khalji also tried to occupy Ranthambore. Then Gujarat, 1572, occupied Ahmedabad, 73 Surat, and appointed Kani Azam as one of the governors of Gujarat region. So these are all factuals, nothing to understand. These are all quite factuals too. And then again we'll come to Jahangir. That is about Akbar. We talked about Babur, Humayun, and then again Akbar. And now Jahangir, Shah Jahan, then again Aurangzeb. We can end this particular session, or we can end this particular theme, that is the rulers of Mughals, because that is there in a lot of PYQs. That is the reason we are discussing extensively. And Jahangir Salim was the eldest son of Akbar and succeeded to the throne and assumed the title of Jahangir. So his original name was Salim, but title was Jahangir. Between 1605 to 1627, Jahangir ruled. But Khusro versus Jahangir was happening. Khusro was the son of Jahangir. Akbar actually wanted to make Khusro as the king, and even certain theologians also wanted to make Khusro as the king, but there was conflict happened between these two. And even nobles also backed Khusro. And then in this conflict, Khusro went and took the blessing of Guru Arjan, one of the Sikh gurus, a fifth guru, and that led to conflict in Mughals and Sikhs. Now Jahangir asked for fine because you are giving blessing to the rival, but later he refused, but he was executed by Jahangir. Now it started to Mughal and Sikhs conflict. It is the genesis of Sikhs and Mughals conflict over there. Okay, so and Thomas Roe, one of the ambassadors of English, they visited Jahangir's court. So first Captain Hawkins came, then Thomas Roe came in 1615. They got more and more trading concession. We will see that in modern India. Okay. So then in consolidation we can see Jahangir was able to settle the dispute with Mewar, that what Akbar couldn't do. So Chittorgarh Fort, 1567-68, then again Rana Pratap Aldigatti. So that is kind of a mixed results for both the sides. And now Jahangir, with the help of we can say his son, okay, so that is Shah Jahan, he finally in 1615 he brought Mewar under consolidation. Okay. At the same time, in Amar Singh I, he surrendered conditionally to the Mughal forces and became a vassal, because Amar Singh was the son of Maharana Pratap, so Aldigatti. 1620, he had also been able to shatter the efforts of Malik Ambar to lead a united front against Mughals of the Deccan states. And who was this Malik Ambar? Okay. So Malik Ambar, that is, he was organizing all the Bahmanis to go against Mughals, but that particular plan was also demobilized. Okay, so shatter the ideas of Malik Ambar. Again, to keep the Bengal area under check, under full control, he shifted the capital of Bengal from Rajmahal to Dhaka. So that is Jahangir's consolidation. Jahangir also captured Kangra Fort in 1650, between 1650 to 1620. Again, Kangra Fort, that is Himachal Pradesh. So this is Jahangir's consolidation, we can say. Mewar was also consolidated by Jahangir during the time period of Amar Singh. Then in relation with Portuguese, we can talk about. Portuguese seized Mughal ships, particularly Mughal ship called as Rahimi in 1613, because the ship was going to Mecca and Medina, is a pilgrimage ship, and Rahimi was owned by Mariam Uz-Zamani, that is Jodhabai, that is Jahangir's mother. And Jahangir himself was outraged because foreigners are interfering in the internal affairs, and that is the reason he ordered seizure of Portuguese towns, that is Daman, and at the same time seize all their churches also. Seize all their churches too. Okay, so when Portuguese seized the Mughal ship Rahimi, which is going to Mecca and Medina, and his ship was owned by Jahangir's mother, because Mughal rulers also employed certain ships, and the ships were engaged in trading activities. The ships were engaged in trading activities. Now seize all the churches, because they felt like they wanted to make the foreigners to rule or to follow the rules and regulations of the Mughals land, or we can say Hindustan land. Again, one more important aspect of Jahangir is the chain of justice, that is Muttaman Burj, an octagonal building made of white marble by Jahangir. Okay, so inside the Agra fort, and the people who want to want to approach the king to get the justice, and they could come and utilize this chain of justices. Okay, it's famous as Jahangir's chain of justice, that is Adali Janzir. A chain was set up is a link between people and Jahangir himself. The chain showcased the link between people as well as Jahangir. And outside the castle there is a fort. Anyone were free to pull the chain with 60 bells, and now Jahangir will address that one and have personal hearing from Jahangir himself, and that is called as chain of justice, that is Adali Janjir. So it was there in octagonal building, that is Muttaman Burj, made up of white marble. Okay, so that building housed this chain of justice. This is about Jahangir mainly. So all these are factuals, so nothing to understand. Today you have to keep on revising all these particular facts. Okay, now we discuss about Babur, then again Humayun, Akbar, then again Jahangir, and now we'll come to Shah Jahan. Now Shah Jahan introduction we can see, that is his name is Muhammad Khan Khurram. He ruled between 1620 to 1658, and Mughals empire, particularly architecturally as well as culturally, reached its peak during the time period of Shah Jahan. At the same time, defeated his youngest brother Shahryar Mirza, and then he crowned himself as the king at Agra fort in around 1628. Again, like I told you, that is after Akbar, the transition was not so smooth. There was a conflict between Jahangir and Khusro also, then again Shah Jahan, then again Shahryar, then again Dara Shikoh and Aurangzeb also after this one. Now what is consolidation of Mughal during Shah Jahan? Some military campaigns. Now Khurram, he presented Kunwar Singh, Amar Singh's heir, Amar Singh, that is again heir of Rana Pratap. Rana Pratap I think Akbar tried to defeat Rana Pratap, okay, that was better Faldi Gati. Then again during 1615, during the time of Jahangir, but Khurram was still the prince then, Shah Jahan was the prince, and then he presented Kunwar Singh, the Amar Singh's heir. He brought under the influence of Mughals ultimately. Again, he directed to deal with the Lodhis in the Deccan, Khurram, okay, and again he was just a prince. We are talking about Shah Jahan as the prince, and to secure empire, the southern borders, to secure the southern border. In 1634, again 1637, and they also had occupied the Baltistan, that is Kashmir ruler, and the Kashmir ruler, that is Abdal. Okay, 34 and 37. Then again penetrated up to his capital Skardu and forced him to submit and pay an indemnity to Mughal rulers. And that is 34 and 37. Shah Jahan as the king, because he became king in 1628 itself only. So these two as prince. These two as prince. Okay, because king was during that point of time was Jahangir. King was Jahangir, we can say. Okay, these are military campaigns of Shah Jahan. Okay, then again Deccan. One of the biggest achievements of Shah Jahan is to bringing this Deccan Shahi kingdom, the Bahmani kingdoms under control, some of them. In 29, Shah Jahan deputed 2 armies against Ahmadnagar Nizam Shahis. Okay, then in 32, Shah Jahan captured fortress of Daulatabad, that is in Maharashtra, and imprisoned Hussain Shah of Nizam Shahi kingdom, that is Ahmadnagar was ruled by Nizam Shahi kingdom of Ahmadnagar. Okay, and Nizam Shah was sent to prison in Gwalior. That is the end of Nizam Shahis. This marked the end of Nizam Shahi dynasty completely. And then Golconda submitted, and Bijapur in 1636, and both of them again brought on the supremacy of Mughals, Golconda in 1635 and Bijapur in 1636, and these are the Shahi kingdoms again, Bahmani kingdoms again, and both of them accepted Mughal supremacy without direct annexation by Shah Jahan. And again Mughals tried to arbitrate between Bijapur and Golconda. Okay, so in any kind of disputes between these two kingdoms, we have to arbitrate. The Shah Jahan will arbitrate, or we can say the Mughals will arbitrate. Other two kingdoms of Bahmanis are Bidar and again Berar. So 5 Bahmani kingdoms, Ahmadnagar, then again Golconda, okay, then again Bijapur, Bidar and Berar. Okay, Bidar and Berar. So these are the 5 kingdoms, but these are very minor, but these 3 are quite powerful. Now Shah Jahan brought these powerful Shahi kingdoms under the control. Okay, and now some external matters we can say. Shah Jahan and his sons captured even Kandahar also. Captured city of Kandahar, that is in Afghanistan in 1638 from the Safavids, but lost very quickly. And he also launched an invasion of Central Asia in 46-47. Now the Bal campaign was also there of Shah Jahan in 1646. Bal, that is in Afghanistan, is the high watermark of Mughal foreign policy. Okay, so now later Mughals, they started to receive a lot of foreign invasions into India, and they were subject to a lot of foreign invasions, but Mughals was at the ability to go and occupy Central Asia also. Okay, that is a high watermark. And again Uzbeks were defeated by Aurangzeb in 1647 outside Balkh, because Aurangzeb was the prince then, Shah Jahan was the king. Okay, and then again it was beyond the strength of Mughals to control Central Asia, that is far away from Delhi. Okay, and politically also it quite not quite feasible to control that, because the culture was completely different. So that is, they were unfriendly local population, and that is the reason Mughals had to seize control over these particular places. Okay, then nevertheless, it ensured safety of Kabul. So Afghanistan meets the frontier. Okay, so but India remained safe from any kind of other attacks, even from Afghanistan attacks itself or from Central Asian attacks, almost for 200 years, almost for at least for 100 years. But later, if we are talking about the 17th century, but in 18th century, so a lot of foreign invasion happened. Amr Shah Abdali, like Nadir Shah of Iran. But for that 100 years, from the Shah Jahan time period to the later 100 years, there was no threat to India, because Shah Jahan had control over the Afghanistan places also, as well as Central Asian places also. Okay, so of course, Afghanistan was controlled by Shah Jahan with the help of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was the prince. Okay, now Deccan famine of 1632 happened, and now he set up Langar Khana, that free kitchens, which was started by Guru Nanak. Okay, the Langar Khana is a concept started by Guru Nanak to end religious discrimination, caste discrimination, because there was a ban of interdining within Hindu society, and that is to eliminate the discrimination. Guru Nanak brought Langar Khana system, that is, everybody can come together to have food, and that Langar Khana free kitchen for the victims of famine during Deccan famine of 1632, that was started by Shah Jahan. And now we are coming to last ruler, that is Aurangzeb. We discuss all the rulers, their military consolidation very quickly. And now Aurangzeb, later introduction, Muhi Aluddin Muhammad Alamgir I, that is his title actually, and that is conqueror of the world between 1658 to 1707, and the greatest territorial extent of Mughals reached during the time period of Aurangzeb, because in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, stretched from Kashmir in the north to Jinji in the south, that's in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and to Hindu Kush in the west to Chittagong in the east. So that is the entire extension, Kashmir to Jinji and Hindu Kush mountain to, we can talk about Assam, or we can say Bengal, today Bangladesh. Okay, then again, world's largest economy and biggest manufacturing power, India became during that point of time. And second, he was the governor of Deccan before becoming the king, 1636-47, Gujarat in 1645-46. He led the Bal campaign also. Administrator of Multan and Sindh, 48-57. Led his father army to Balkh, that is Shah Jahan's army to Balkh. And he was a war of succession with Dara Shikoh. He was the heir apparent to the throne. War of succession. Okay, and then that is succession, but two wars happened actually between Aurangzeb and Dara Shikoh, because some of the nobles started to give support to Dara Shikoh, but Aurangzeb wanted to become king, and he defeated the allied army, that Shikoh and kingdom of Marwar, that is Jaswant Singh Rathore. So Jaswant Singh Rathore was supporting Dara Shikoh to become the king, to become the Mughal king. So Aurangzeb defeated. So in battle of Dharmat in near Ujjain, that's in Madhya Pradesh, and again battle of Samugad, that is Damugad near Agra. And here also he achieved a decisive battle in 1658. He completely defeated Dara Shikoh and he cemented his sovereignty. Now he became the king, and he imprisoned Shah Jahan in Agra fort also, because Shah Jahan was more favor of making Dara Shikoh as the king, and Dara Shikoh got defeated in two battles, that is battle of Samugad and then again battle of Dharmat, probably Dharmat pronunciation, please forgive my pronunciation. Okay, so that is near Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh. So this is succession war. Sometimes the battles they can ask. The military campaigns again brought Nizam Shahi dynasty to an end, 1636, when he was the prince, Shah Jahan was the king. 1637, annexed Rajput kingdom, Baglana, Madhya Pradesh. 86, Bijapur kingdom was annexed, defeating Sikandar Adil Shah. 87, it defeated Golconda kingdom by defeating Abdul Hasan Qutub Shah. Okay, and from Golconda he also captured Kollur diamond mines near Krishna Banks in Andhra Pradesh. So this is the greatest extent of Mughal territories in India. The greatest extent of Mughal territories in India. Okay, so and foreign relations we can see, and that is French East India Company ambassadors like Babet and again Lagos presented Louis XIV Francis letters to Aurangzeb and urged the production of French merchants in India. And again he issued a firman allowing the French to open factory in Surat in 1660s. Then again 1686-87, the Anglo-Mughal war also happened. So British tried to occupy Hooghly. They tried to disturb pilgrims. Okay, and that war is called as Child's War also, Josiah Child. Okay, so that is a British representative, we can say, Josiah Child, his name. Okay, he tried to underestimate Mughals' power, He invaded Hooghly, but he got defeated by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb completely decimated British East India Company. But later they asked for apology, they paid some fine, so it was restored later. Okay, it was restored later with some indemnity. Restored with indemnity, we can talk about. Okay, so this is foreign relationships with French East India Company when Aurangzeb was there. Okay, so this is about Mughals, their relationship, okay, on their rulers, so how they contributed for the expansion of Mughal kingdom in India. So we finished with the Mughal theme. So now again some smaller themes are there. Okay, so another 56 slides of medieval India. We are going to finish those PYQs. Now, who of the following founded a new city in 2015 question? And a city on the south bank of tributary to river Krishna undertook the rule his new kingdom as the agent of the deity to whom all the land south of the river Krishna was supposed to belong. In 2015, that is Amogha Varsha 1, Ballala 2nd, Harihara 1, then Prataparata 2nd. We will see all the rulers, but this is directly related to that we can talk about south of Krishna river, that is majorly Vijayanagara Empire we are talking about, that is Harihara 1, Akkaraya and Bukkaraya. Okay, so that is what it talk about, that is kingdom that is south of the river Krishna that we are talking about here. We are talking about Vijayanagara Empire. So we will see all these rulers one by one. So very factuals again. Medieval India, most of them are factual. Nothing to feudalism was one concept we understood. Bhakti and Sufism we understood. Mughals, all of them are factuals itself only. Now factual data about these particular kings. And before going to one more question asked about the Vijayanagara Empire itself only. Who among the following rulers of Vijayanagara Empire constructed a large dam across Tungabhadra and a canal cum aqueduct several kilometers long from the river to the capital city? This was last year question. Devaraya 1, Mallikarjuna, Veera Vijaya, Virupaksha. I think these are minor rulers when we will discuss Devaraya 1. Okay, so that is answer is also A, and we will discuss about Devaraya 1 too. Okay, so now look at the Rashtrakutas. Why Rashtrakutas? Because Amogha Varsha 1 answer option was there. Amogha Varsha belonged to Rashtrakuta. They ruled between 753 to 982, and that is capital was Malkhed. That is in Karnataka. Also used to be called as Manyakheda. Today it is called as Kalburgi, and they overthrew Chalukyan ruler Kirtivarma II. And the founder was Dantidurga. And the last ruler of Rashtrakutas was Indra IV, last emperor, and he again Rashtrakutas also great supporters of, we can say, Jainism, and he committed Sallekana like Chandragupta Maurya, and he committed Sallekana at the same place at Shravanabelagola, fasting unto death according to Jaina tradition. He was the last ruler, but in Rashtrakutas the answer option which was there, that is Amogha Varsha. So Amogha Varsha ruled between 814 to 878. He built the capital Malkhed. Before that it was Ilaichipura or Ellora was the capital initially. So Malkhed was a major capital. Before that one, that Ellora or Ilaichipura it is called, that was the first capital. They maintained friendly relation with his neighbors. And Suleiman, one of the Arab traveler, so he visited his court and he was scholar, particularly Amogha Varsha scholar in Kannada as well as Sanskrit, and he wrote Kaviraja Marga, the first poetics work in Kannada. But some people ascribe this work to Sri Vijaya also. They say it's a court poet, but some people would say it was written both together by Amogha Varsha and Sri Vijaya, and some people say it was written by Sri Vijaya himself, Kaviraja Marga. So different thing is that, but generally it associated with Amogha Varsha also. Okay, and in Sanskrit he wrote Prashnottara Malika, that we are talking about Amogha Varsha. He wrote Prashnottara Malika, and later it was translated to Tibetan languages too. And he called as Ashoka of the south because of his tolerance attitude, and with he was compared with Chandragupta II, the Navaratnas of Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II, that is the golden age of Guptas we talk about in particular literature. Now he is also compared with Chandragupta II, Chandragupta Vikramaditya, because of his giving patronage to many scholars, and the Kannada literature started flourishing and in Karnataka, and because of Amogha Varsha, because of the ruling of Rashtrakutas, and that was there in answer option. Okay, so that is Rashtrakutas, Amogha Varsha. And then again we talk about Veera Ballala. We already talked about Vaisyalas, 1173 to 1220 CE. Okay, so he belonged to Vaisala families, and he quoted a famous Kannada poets, that is Nemi Chandra as well as Janna. That was there. Then again he dominated over Yadavas of Devagiri. Again look at it, one repeated themes within this some sections. Okay, within some sections only, that is the topics are getting repeated. And he also dominated over Pandyas of Madurai also, that is in Tamil Nadu, and Western Chalukyas were also called as Kalyani Chalukyas, and Cholas of Tanjavur. So all of them were under the control of Veera Ballala, and he dominated over all of them, Yadavas of Devagiri also. And he built Amruteshwara temple in Chikmagaluru district of Karnataka, that is in Karnataka again. And who built this temple? Not during the time of Veera Ballala, but his commander, that is Amruteshwara Dandanayaka. Like we talked about Somnathpura in art and culture, and that is Somnathpura temple was built by Somanatha Dandanayaka. Okay, so here Shiva again worshipped in Linga form. Shiva worshipped in Linga form, and this is Veera Ballala. Then Prataparudra, he belonged to, he also called as Rudradeva II, one of the last monarch, the last monarch of Kakatiya dynasty. That is, he ruled between 1289 to 1323, and Alauddin Khalji invaded this particular kingdom, that is Kakatiyas, in 1310. AK means Alauddin Khalji. He had to pay tribute to him, and he also had to pay tribute to Mubarak Shah, who was the successor of Alauddin Khalji of Khalji dynasty. So Prataparudra II belonged to Kakatiyas. Kakatiyas we also discussed in ancient India in one of the answer options analysis. And in 1323, GST, that is Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, the Tughlaq dynasty founder. So he annexed Kakatiyas into Delhi. Kakatiyas of Warangal, Telangana region. Kakatiyas of Warangal in Telangana region. He completely occupied it. Okay. So now it became part of Delhi Sultans. Then Ariyara I is the founder of the Vijayanagara Empire, also called as Akkaraya. Along with brother Bukkaraya, he founded Vijayanagara Empire in 1336. Okay, and he ruled between 1336 to 1356, Ariyara I. And he belonged to Sangama dynasty. There are 4 dynasties of Vijayanagara. That is, one is Sangama. Out Delhi Sultans are 5 dynasties. There are 4 dynasties Sangama. Then again Saluva. Saluva also sometimes. Then again Tuluva. And then again Aravidu dynasty. Aravidu dynasty. Like major rulers are Sangama rulers as well as Tuluva rulers. Tuluva rulers Sri Krishna Devaraya and Ariyara I Devaraya, other Devaraya I. So they are all belong to Sangama dynasty. Okay, and then again expanded territory after the death of Veera Ballala III, because Veera Ballala was belonged to Hoysalas, and Vijayanagara Empire came into prominence after the decline of Hoysalas. So once Veera Ballala died, now Hoysalas became completely weakened, and now they started expanding territories, and that became Vijayanagara Empire, and particularly Tungabhadra Doab, the control over Tungabhadra river. So along with brothers, they are called Pancha Sangamas were there, that is Bukkaraya, then again Akkaraya. Okay, so there are 5 brothers were there. There is Bukkaraya, 1 Akkaraya, again Kampana, Marappa and Muddappa. These are called as Pancha Sangamas. They belong to which dynasty? That is Sangama dynasty. So the early contribution for the foundation of Vijayanagara Empire comes from this dynasty. Again Devaraya I, 1406 to 1422, after the death of Ariyara II, and he imported horses from Persia and Arabia, the trade relationship with them. And Niccolo Conti from Italy visited Devaraya I's court. That is at that point of time he visited Vijayanagara Empire, and he constructed very famous temple in Hampi, that is Azararama temple. Azararama temple in Hampi, and Virupaksha temple in Hampi is also there. We discussed in art and culture, and known for dealing with water scarcity of Hampi by building canals, and that is a question that is asked. So Devaraya I is known for dealing with the water scarcity situation. So he built a canal connecting with his capital, and he defeated Bahmanis, Firoz Shah of Bahmani. Okay, there was a conflict between Vijayanagara and Bahmani for this Tungabhadra Doab. At the same time, had matrimonial relations with Bahmani also, according to certain sources. So that again, it's quite vague, but some would say that it was not quite proper, but some would say that there was a matrimonial relationship between these 2 kingdoms. And his queen Bhima Devi built a Basadi at Shravanabeлагola. Basadi means related to Jaina. Okay, Jainism Basadi, or Jaina temples we can say. That is his queen of Devaraya I, and that is Bhima Devi built a Basadi at Shravanabeлагola. But Shravanabeлагola, that is Karnataka. Okay, so place where Chandragupta Maurya and Indra of we can say Arashtrakuta, who committed Sallekana over there. And Sri Krishna Devaraya, like I told you in ancient history while discussing about that, we are going to discuss about Sri Krishna Devaraya. So he ruled between 1509 to 1529, and he belonged to Tuluva dynasty. One of the most powerful rulers, and also was a contemporary of Babar when Babar came to India. Okay, that is in 1526. He was a contemporary. And some Portuguese travelers visited Vijayanagara Empire. There is Barbosa and again Domingo Pace. They visited. Niccolo Conti visited during Devaraya I. Babar was contemporary, like I already mentioned. And Krishna Devaraya's conquest, he conquered Shivanasamudram in 1510 and Raichur. Again, both of them are in Karnataka. Shivanasamudram is known for the first hydroelectric project. Hydroelectric project that provided electricity to entire Bangalore. So he conquered Raichur in 1512 from Bahmanis again, conflict between Bahmanis. Then again, 32 captured Orissa and Warangal. Odisha and Warangal, that is expansion of Vijayanagara Empire. And the entire empire was extended from Krishna river in the north to Kaveri river in the south, and from Arabian Sea to Bay of Bengal, from west to east. That is the zenith of Vijayanagara Empire during Sri Krishna Devaraya. And he was also scholar, Krishna Devaraya. He wrote Jamavati Kalyanam, Rasamanjari, Usha Parinayam, then again Madhalasa Charitam in Sanskrit, then Amukta Maleda in Telugu, and his court had Ashtadigajas, there are 8 poets were there, scholars were there, and particularly to contributing to Telugu literature, and also Kannada, but majorly Telugu, but Kannada poets were also there in his court. So Navaratna, 9 gems, Chandragupta II, then again Ashtadigajas, that is Sri Krishna Devaraya of Vijayanagara. So these Ashtadigajas, I have given the names of all these Ashtadigajas and their works also. I will give it a next slide. That is Alasani Peddanna, author of Manucharitam, and also called as Andhra Kavi Pitamaha. Nandi Timmanna, author of Parijata Pranam, is one of the Kannada poets. Okay, that is Kannada poets in the court. Then again Madhagiri Mallana, Durjati, okay, Ramabhadradu, then Pingali Suranna, okay, Ramaraja Bhushana, then again Tenali Ramakrishna. He was the court jester also. Tenali Ramakrishna, court jester. He called as Vidushak, means the person who makes others laugh. Tenali Ramakrishna. And now all their works I have given the names over there. Okay, you can go through them later. Alasani Peddanna, okay, Manucharitam, Andhra Kavi Pitamaha, we discuss Parijata Paranam, Rajashekara Charitram, then Kalasti Mahatmam, again Rama Buddhyam, okay. And then again we can talk about Raghava Pandaviyamu, a dual work that describes both Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, so you can go through all these things later. Okay, so all these are slightly Telugu pronunciation, you can go through them. Okay, these are Ashtadigajas, because sometimes literary theme that is getting repeated nowadays, and also we discuss in ancient history theme also. So literature is emerging theme, so that is the reason I have given. We discussed in our PEP course also, in ILP course also, foundation course also. So that is, so I thought we would give it so that people can go through this. Or if possible, if you want to have extra information, you can go through the themes of this. I don't think themes are necessary for all this. Okay, so you can just go through which person, which particular literature. Of course, it's too much. You have to revise it. You have to revise it a lot. Find a way to revise things. Revision is one important aspect. You have to keep it in mind always. Then one more question about Vijayanagara, about the economic nature of it. Not much we can build about this one, and this is quite we can say self-explanatory question, and that is tax rate on land was fixed depending on the quality of the land. That is very we can say very mild statement. Private owners of workshops pay industry tax. Taxation was one of the major we can say talk about function of ancient history dynasty also, and medieval history dynasties also. So answer option is C. Nothing we can build about that one. The tax rate about this particular Vijayanagara kingdom, that is asked in 2016. And then again Aragatta, one term was used. Okay, so it is again nothing we can build about that one. It's a water wheel used for irrigation of land. So this references was there in Arsha Charita, okay, of Banabhatta. References was there in Arsha Charita of Banabhatta. Probably I should have included this question over there. Arsha Charita of Banabhatta. That is references are in medieval times also this Aragatta was used. So let's see how you can, anything you can build out of this question. Let your imagination come out of this Aragatta. Then one more question, again self-estimate 2021. Again it talks about the Portuguese writers and travelers who came to Vijayanagara Empire. That is one of the favorite themes. I will give the list of all the travelers who came in which time period, and they talk about that is women know Vijayanagara Empire. During the women were expert in which of the following areas: wrestling, astrology, accounting, soothsaying. Soothsaying means say astrology, saying future, predicting future. The answer option is D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer option is 1, 2, 3. Again, these are certain kind of a bouncer kind of questions. So they are very specific what women know. So sometimes the best form of attack is the defense. If you don't do anything at all, if you can't able to make out the answer, leave that particular question. Not much we can build over this particular question. But you have travelers, Portuguese travelers as well as the Italian travelers who came here. That is Nunes came during Achyuta Devaraya, Krishna Devaraya, Domingo Paes and Barbosa from Portugal. Abdul Razak from Persia, Niccolo Conti from Italy, Nikitin from Russia came under different rulers. Devaraya 1, Devaraya 2, Achyuta Devaraya, then Krishna Devaraya. Okay, they can ask for match the following. So this is one of the themes. Okay, you can go through it simply. And then one more question was asked. It is about medieval administration, the Mughals, and then again we can talk about even during the time period of Delhi Sultans also. The administration was evolving and the administration got consolidated by the time of Akbar. And now one question was asked about what is ascending order and descending order. Ascending order from village to the king level, that is village level is a basic unit. Then you go to the level of Paragana level group of villages. Then you go to Sarkar level, and that kind of a district. And Suba level you can go to some kind of a province, a state. And that is answer option is A. So where we can learn this concept? So during the time of Sher Shah itself only, this kind of scheme emerged. So look at this particular thing. Okay. So look at this. Villages is a basic unit. Above village there is Paragana. Above village there is Shikar Sarkar. Above village there is Suba. Suba means province or state. We take it as state. Okay. And that Suba started to evolve from the time period of Akbar. So how do you read this? That is ascending order, descending order. Villages were under patwaris, accountants who look after that one. And they were not government official, they are non-government official. No salary was given, but some kind of incentives were given to look after village administration. Above village there is Paragana, and the head of the Paragana was called as Shikdar. He looked after law and order, and he was assisted by Amil Sir Munsi for revenue collection. Okay, at the same time he also assisted by one more official called as Poddar or Khazanadar, who kept the collected taxes from Amils and Munsifs. Okay, then again above Paragana Shikar Sarkar, the head was called as Fauzdar. Again he looked after law and order pretty much like Shikdar. I said Munsif, almost same kind of designation, assessing revenue, collecting revenue. And above this there was Suba, and the head of the Suba was called as Subadar. Okay, Subadar. Okay, and even sometimes Sifa Salar also. I said by various ministries, states, that Suba administration started from the time period of Akbar itself. So these are the ascending and descending order. Villages, Paragana, Shikar Sarkar, kind of a district we can say, and Suba, that is a state. Above Suba there is king, there is central government. Very simple. Okay. And again Amils were changed every 2 years to avoid nexus by Sher Shah. He did not want to make Amils quite corrupt. He kept on changing them so that they wouldn't have any nexus with the local people to help them in tax evasion. Okay. And then again one more question. With reference to Mughal India, what are the differences between Jagirdar and Zamindar? So look at these two statements. Jagirdars were holders of land assignments in lieu of judicial and police duties, whereas Zamindars were holders of revenue rights without obligation to perform any other duty than revenue collection. Land assignments to Jagirdars were hereditary and revenue rights of Zamindars were not hereditary. So 2019 question, which is the answer. Before getting into answer, we'll understand the concept of Jagirdars and Zamindars. It's not there in slides. Okay, Jagirdars and Zamindars. Zamindars are hereditary. One big Zamindar and his land transferred to his particular son. Okay, so that is hereditary. And then again they had some duties, the police duties they had at a local level, revenue collection duty, they used to collect revenue and pay it to the state. State used to pay certain kind of concessions or some kind of commissions. Okay, they had police duties and they had some judicial duties at the local level. Okay, then Jagirdars. Okay, so Jagirdars were, one land is given as salary sometimes under Mughals, and that land is called as Jagir. So holder of this land was called as Jagirdar. Sometimes also referred to as Mansabdar also. That is another concept. We don't want to get into that term. We'll just hold it Jagirdar. But this land which was held by the Jagirdar, you need to collect taxation from that one. Collect taxation and pay it to the state. But he is not properly doing his duty. This Jagir can be transferred. It is not hereditary. It is transferred. So his major duty is that one, collect his revenue from that particular land, keep certain money as his salary, and give the rest to the state. Okay, so that is transferred if it is not collected properly. Okay, so at duty is not doing done, it will be transferred. So that is a major difference between Jagirdars as well as Zamindars. Now Jagirdars were the holders of land assignments in lieu of judicial and police duties. No, they did not have judicial and police duties, but Zamindars had police duties. Again, I told you, interchanging of concepts happen. Whereas Zamindars were holders of revenue rights. No, Jagirdars are the holders of revenue rights. Zamindar just used to collect and revenue and pay it to the incentives without obligation to perform any other than revenue collection. No, the police duties were given, judicial duties were given. That is wrong. Land assignments to Jagirdars were hereditary. Revenue rights of Zamindars were not hereditary. Land assignment to Jagirdars were not hereditary because that can be transferred. So answer is D, neither one nor two. So this is the concept, Jagirdars as well as Zamindars. So this was asked in 2019. Okay. Then again one more administrative question, I guess, that is, consider the following statements. In revenue administration, Delhi Sultanate in charge of revenue collection was known as Amil. Okay. So the Ikta system of Sultans of Delhi was an ancient indigenous system. And Officer Mir Bakshi came into existence during the reign of Khalji Sultans of Delhi. Okay. Then which of the following statements are correct? 1 only, 2 only, 1 and 2 only, 3 only, as well as 1, 2, 3. If you go back to this particular slide, okay, so look at this. What are Amils? That is revenue collection. Revenue collection, the same thing. Okay, so here look at this one. We'll understand this concept. Amils are revenue collection for sure. Okay, Amils are revenue collection for sure. Okay, Amils, Munsif, different terms for use. Now Ikta system. What is Ikta system is that during the Delhi Sultans, there was no provincial administration. Certain areas was divided for administrative purposes and they were called as Ikta. They were called as Ikta. They were called as Ikta. And this Ikta were under the control of a military general, or you can say commander, army commander or military general, who can be called as Wali or Mukti. Wali or Mukti. Okay. Now it is called as Ikta system of Sultans of Delhi was an ancient indigenous institution. No, it is came with Delhi Sultans. It is not ancient. Okay, so this is Ikta system. So in Mughals what happened? There were different provinces were there. They are called as Suba. They are called as Suba with perfect administration. They were headed by civilian personnel, not military general. But here it was headed by military general. And what is the duty of this military general? Collect revenue from the air and pay it to the king, or that is pay it to the sultan. So that is the Ikta system. Okay, sometimes Iktas are also called as Vilayat also. The term Vilayat is also used in border areas. Border of the Delhi Sultan areas, Vilayat is also used. And the head of the Ikta, these military generals are called as Walis or Muktis. And Suba, head of the Suba was called as Subadar and Sifasalar. So Ikta system is an ancient indigenous system. That is wrong. This is right. The offices of Mir Bakshi came into existence during the reign of Khalji Sultans of Delhi. So what is Mir Bakshi? Mir Bakshi is a defense minister, or we can say military minister. Defense or military minister. Defense or military minister. But this was came during Mughals. During Delhi Sultans, that office is called as, okay, Diwani Arz. Diwani Arz. So that is the defense minister of Delhi Sultans. Mir Bakshi is the defense minister of Mughals. So these also wrong. These also wrong. So what is left? 1 only. Answer is A. 3 is wrong. 2 is wrong. 3 is wrong. 1 only. So Mir Bakshi, that is term is used. So various terms are there. You can go through those terms. Okay. So that is Wazir, finance minister, Diwan, finance minister. Okay. Dabir, Dabir-Ikas, and then again Barbek, Amir Rajib. All these terms are there. Okay. You can go through that one. At the same time, Mir Saman, head of the royal household. Okay. So these are the terms associated with administration of Delhi Sultans. Okay. And now certain kingdoms and their chronological order. Look at that one. Simple chronological order question was asked. and starting from the earliest time when this was established, Pratiharas, and they are not asking about Pratiharas as a whole, they are asking about Pratiharas under King Bhoja. Pallava power under Mahendravarma, Chola power under Parantaka, in Pala dynasty by Gopala. So we'll discuss all these kingdoms. So answer option is C. And how do you come to this one? Little bit general knowledge. So what is the first one it was given? Pallava power, that is 5th. Even it goes back to even 4th and 5th century said itself only. That is ancient dynasty. And Cholas, they were medieval dynasty. So everybody know that will be the last one. Okay, now 3 is last, 2 is first. Okay, again you might get confusion over here. 1 and 4. That is one. That is then again you can talk about 4th one, that is Pala dynasty, Gopala, Pratiharas, a little bit later. So little bit some dates. Okay, so we will discuss this dynasty Gurjara Pratiharas, that is, and their vassals Chandelas, they built Khajuraho group of temples, and the founder of Gurjara Pratiharas was Harichandra. Again Nagabhatta one, considered as the real founder of this particular dynasty in 730 to 760. Resisted Arab invasion by Junaid and Tamim. Arab invasion had started by that point of time. Then Vatsaraja, 780 to 800. Beginning of tripartite struggle. We will discuss tripartite struggle because Rashtrakuta, Palas and Pratiharas theme is repeating. And these 3 families are known for tripartite struggle. We will discuss that one. And Mihir Bhoja, Bhoja 1, 836 to 885. That is the question that was asked. Their greatest king. And Arab traveler Sulaiman, who visited Amogha also, visited Bhoja also. Okay, Bhoja also, and he referred to him as different name Juzur. Called Bhoja as Juzur, and he says the king kept a dynasty free from robbers, known for law and order administration. Okay, King Bhoja. Then another Arab traveler Ali Masud, referred to him as King Bora. He also came to his court. Okay. Then Gurjara Pratiharas. Then Mahendrapala or Mahipala. His court by was Rajashekara, who wrote Karpura Manjari, Sanskrit poet. And he got defeated by Indra III of Rashtrakutas. Indra III of Rashtrakutas. Then again Rajapala 960,018, and raid of Muhammad Ghazni and Kanuj happened during this particular rule when Rajapala was ruling over. Okay, so this is about Gurjara Pratiharas, and Rajapala fled from the battlefield. And last ruler was Yashpala. Last ruler was Yashpala. Okay, in 1090 the Gahadavalas conquered Kanuj. Gahadavalas, we discuss, one answer option was also there. So the related themes, topics only we are discussing. Related themes, topics only we are discussing. Gahadavalas of Kanuj, I discussed in ancient history. Okay, even though it that belonged to medieval, but Palas, that question was there. Bengal and Bihar region. The Pala Empire was called as Ruhimi or Ruhma Dharma by Arab merchant Sulaiman. Sulaiman mentions about Rashtrakutas, Palas as well as then again Gurjara Pratiharas. The founder was Gopala, 750 AD. Then he built the monastery at Udantipuri, Bihar. I discussed this Udantipuri monastery, Vikramashila dynasty while talking about Buddhism. Go back and check that one. Pala kings were followers of Buddhism. The last great, we can say that family that supported Buddhism was Pala Empire. After this one, Buddhism started declining, especially Tantrayana Buddhism, and that is Tantric Buddhism, that is Vajrayana as well as Mahayana. They gave support to this particular Buddhism trend, and they promoted this religion by making monasteries like viharas and temples in eastern India. Buddhist temples and viharas. Okay, and Pala legacy is still reflected in Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhism borrowed much of these things from, particularly from the Buddhism which was developing under Palas in Bihar and Bengal region. And again, continuing with Palas, Dharmapala is the founder of Vikramashila monastery. First is Udantipuri, then again Vikramashila. And Buddhist scholar Dipankara, Atista, also called as associated with this particular monastery, Vikramashila monastery. Is also known for Vajrayana leanings. He also founded Somapuri monastery, that is in Bangladesh. So 4 monasteries, Nalanda, Udantipuri, Vikramashila, then again Somapuri. One more you can add. And Mahipala, he got defeated by Rajendra Chola of Cholas. And later the Hindu Sena dynasty under Vijayasena dethroned the Pala Empire in Bengal. Okay, in and around 12th century. So that is the chronology. Gurjara Pratiharas, Palas, after Palas we can say Hindu Sena dynasty. And Bengali language developed under their patronage, and the first Bengali literary work was Charyapada by Shabrapa. Charyapada by Shabrapa. Okay, so this is about the Palas. And then again Pallavas of Kanchi, because that was also there. Their ruling area is called as Tondai Mandalam in Tamil Nadu, and their flag was lion. Their feudatories of Shatavahanas, So after Shatavahanas, then Pallavas replaced. Okay. Then again, Simha Vishnu is the real founder, first major ruler, and he defeated by defeating Ikshvakus, the local rulers, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu border region we can talk about. That's it. By defeating Ikshvakus, Simha Vishnu established Pallavas. Then Mahendravarman won 590 to 630 AD, like about 6th century AD. Got defeated by Pulikeshi II at Pulalluru. We discussed couple of times. Then again, he wrote Matta Vilasa Prasana in Sanskrit, Mahendravarman, and he converted to we can say Shaivism, being from Jain. I initiated construction of the famous cave temple Mahabalipuram. Again, Mahabalipuram theme we discuss in art and culture. Okay, and at the same time, he took up Shaivism under the influence of Appar from being a Jain. So he was a Jain, Mahendravarman. Later, he took up what? He took up Shaivism under the influence of Appar. Okay, so that Nayanar, Shaiva saint Appar. Then again, Narasimhavarman, also called as Mahamalla. He defeated Pulikeshi. He took revenge for the defeat of his father with the help of Manavarma, the Sri Lankan prince, in battle of Manimangalam and battle of Vatapi. Two battles where he defeated Pulikeshi II. In Manimangalam, that is in Tamil Nadu, Vatapi, that is also called as Badami. Okay, so he defeated Pulikeshi II, also called as Vatapi Konda, that is slayer of Vatapi. And he built a port at Mahabalipuram. Okay, ordered the Rathas of Mahabalipuram to be built. Mahabalipuram Pancharathas we talked about, monolith without wheels, that is it. And in his honor, this town is called as Mamallapuram. Okay, Uensang visited his court, Pulikeshi II, Narasimhavarman, and then again Harshavardhan also. Narasimhavarman II or Rajasimha, 700 to 728. He constructed Rajasimheshwara temple or Kailashnath temple in Kanchi. Rajasimheshwara or Kailashnath temple in Kanchi. Pallavas are known for, that is beginning of Dravida architecture. And Shore temple at Mahabalipuram, 3 temple complexes we talked about, Shiva and Vishnu dedicated to that one. Dantivarma 795 to 46. During his reign, Rashtrakuta ruler Govinda III invaded Kanchi because Pallavas capital is Kanchi. So Rashtrakuta ruler invaded Kanchi. Okay. Then in Pallavas administrative units, you can look at the chronologically. That is Mandalam, kind of a province. So below province there was Kottam, below Kottam there was Nadu, and again Ur. Okay. This Ur concept and Nadu concept we will see more in Cholas, because Cholas also we have to look at that one because that was there in the answer option. We'll come to Cholas also. Okay, Nadu and Ur. This is the chronological, like what we talked about Paragana, Sarkar, Subha, and that is there in Pallavas like this: Mandalam, Kottam, Nadu as well as Ur. Okay. Now the imperial Cholas or royal Cholas will come to, that was there in the answer option. 850 to 1200 CE, capital was Tanjavur. And then again, conquered Sri Lanka, Maldives, Java and Sumatra. They are called as imperial Cholas because their rule was extended very far and wide. Then again, founder was Vijayalaya by overthrowing the Pallavas. After Pallavas, Cholas came. Then Parantaka, that was the answer option which was there, 907 to 953. And the famous Uttara Meru inscription belongs to Parantaka Chola. In this inscription, mentioning about the Cholas' local administration, the self-government administration. So that is a famous inscription, and we talk about this administration after discussing all the kings. And in Battle of Vellore, defeated Pandyas and Sri Lanka kings, Parantaka Chola, because there was a conflict between Cholas, Pandyas as well as Pallavas and again Cheras too. And he got defeated by Krishna III of Rashtrakutas in Battle of Takolam. So Krishna III belonged to Rashtrakutas. He belonged to Rashtrakutas. And he got defeated in Battle of Takolam. And Krishna III assumed the title Conqueror of Kanchi and Tanjai. Conqueror of Kanchi as well as Tanjai. That is Kanchi, Tamil Nadu, and again Tanjavur, again Tamil Nadu. Okay, that is Krishna III of Rashtrakutas. Again, Imperial Cholas, one major ruler, Arumolivarman, Rajaraja I, considered the greatest ruler of Cholas, and he invaded Sri Lanka and Maldives. He ruled between 985 to 2014. He led a naval expedition to Shailendra Empire, that is in Malaya Peninsula, in Southeast Asia we can talk about. In 2010, he constructed Rajeshwara temple, Brihadeshwara temple, and dedicated to Lord Shiva at Tanjavur. We talked about that in, I showed the image of this particular in art and culture class, art and culture session. And this temple is also called as Rajaraja temple. The reason is that the Cholas are known for installing the idols of king and the queen in the temples. So Rajaraja, his name was. Cholas were the habit of installing images of kings and queens in the temple. That is the reason the temple, along with the temple deity name. So the king who built the temple his idol was there. That is the reason that temple was also named after the king who built that one. And he has the title of Ulugalanda Perumal. Perumal means king. And why it is used? Because the king who measured the earth. Because Arumolivarman took up some great surveying exercise for the revenue collection, for the revenue assessment. The king who measured the earth, the king is Perumal, and that is a title that was given to Arumolivarman. And then again one more king, that is Rajendra Chola, known as Pandita Chola. He was son of Rajaraja Chola, ruled between 1014 to 1044. Now Sri Lanka came under the complete control of Cholas by defeating Mahinda V by Rajendra Chola. And he defeated Mahipala I in 1019, Pala ruler. So he got the title Gangai Konda Chola, the occupier of the Ganga region. Ganga region was ruled by Palas, that is Bihar and Bengal region. Palas related over here. Okay, to commemorate this particular victory, he built a temple called as Choleshwara, Gangai Konda Choleshwara temple and Gangai Konda Cholapuram, also called as Rajeshwara temple. Okay, it is named after Rajendra, that is Rajeshwara temple too. Okay, along the banks of Kaveri. Along the banks of Kaveri, it also became the capital later. Initial capital was Tanjavur, and Gangai Konda Cholapuram near Kaveri river, that became capital of Cholas too. Okay. And led a naval expedition to Java and Sumatra, that is Indonesia. That is to Indonesia. Okay. Now Imperial Cholas, last major rulers, Kulatunga Chola, 1070-1022. The Tamil poet Kamban, who wrote Tamil Ramayana, was in his court. And is known for persecution of Vaishnavas because Cholas were known for Shaivism. So persecution of Vaishnavas. And during this point of time, Ramanujacharya had to leave Tamil Nadu. He had to go to Karnataka. And Ramanujacharya went to Karnataka and took refuge under Vishnuvardhana of Vaisalas. So you can just interconnect all of them. Vishnuvardhana of Vaisalas. Okay, that is. And Vishnuvardhana, he was a Jain but converted to Vaishnavism under the influence of Ramanujacharya. We talked about Vishishta Advaita, that is Ramanujacharya, Advaita and Advaita of Shankaracharya, Advaita of Madhvacharya, and refuge under Vishnuvardhana of Vaisalas. And last Chola king, that is Rajendra III, ruled between 1246 to 1279. He was the last major, the last king of Cholas. Okay. And Chola's administration, referred the king as Ko or Perumal. Then Venetian traveler Marco Polo visited Chola kingdom, or we can say visited Kerala in 13th century, and writes that at the death of the monarch, all his bodyguards themselves burnt in the funeral pyre, like kind of a god's sati we can talk about. That is referred by Venetian traveler Marco Polo. Provinces are called as Mandalam, same as Pallavas. Kottamal Valanadu, division of provinces, districts are Nadu. Then again, guilds or shrenis were called as Pugas. Guilds and shrenis we discuss. These are association of merchants and we can say association of arts and crafts. Nattar, assembly of leading men of a Nadu or district. In this district, the major people of this particular district, there is assembly for administration purposes majorly. Then again, Nagattara, also called as Nagaram or Samaya. Nagarattar or Nagaram or Samaya, assembly of mercantile groups. Assembly of merchants. This probably caste wise, probably majorly. So upper caste majorly. Okay, so this is assembly of mercantile group because UPSC asks certain terms of Sangam related. So or we can say Tamil related or South Indian related. So that is the reason I am giving this particular terms. And the supra-regional merchant associations were there. Intra-regional merchant association that shows about the expansion of the trade was happening. And such supra-regional associations were given different names. That's Ayavale, the 500. It is simply called as Ayavale 500. The 500 represents the membership probably. Also represents the mercantile groups. How many mercantile groups were there? 500 mercantile groups. That is in Karnataka. Ayavale, that place. And the Ayavale 500. And also Manigraman. Okay, another prominent guild. So these are the terms that is represented to Chola administration. King adds different terms and Marco Polo talks about certain activities or certain rituals, then certain administrative terms, then supra-regional merchant associations further, their names also, Ayavale 500 as well as Manigraman. Okay, then village administration, Cholas are known for. Again, will we come to know about, how will we come to know about? Through that Uttara Meruru inscription of Parantaka Chola. Okay, Uttara Meruru inscription of Parantaka Chola is famous for local self-government and earliest example of Panchayat Raj system in Indian history, and village assemblies were governing the villages. These village assemblies are called as Ur, and is Ur General Assembly of the local residents. This Ur assemblies, and this is non-Brahmadiya villages, also called as Vellanvaga villages. Non-Brahmadiya means non-Brahmin villages. Brahmin villages, that is called as Brahmadiya villages or Agrara villages. We discussed that particular concept. So this is in non-Brahmadiya villages where Brahmanas were not there. And to discuss the governance matter, that is a major duty of these assemblies. Then again, Sabhar Mahasabha. Okay, it's an exclusive assembly of Brahmanas or gatherings of adult male members in Agrara. Agraras also we can also talk about Brahmadeya also too. So it's a Brahmana assemblies, Brahmadeya villages. Brahmadeya villages. It means rent-free Brahmadeya villages, also called as Agrara. But these had greater autonomy compared to Urv assemblies. Sabhar Mahasabha had greater autonomy. So this is village administration of Cholas. Two types of assemblies were there, Ur as well as Sabha and Mahasabha. Ur was in non-Brahmin villages, Sabha was in Brahmin villages. These Brahmin villages are called as Agrara as well as Brahmadeya. And these Sabha and Mahasabha, they had greater autonomy compared to Ur assemblies. Okay. And social groups during Chola, certain terms, untouchable was called as Pariyars, Vellalas were rich farming groups, Idangais were called as left-hand caste groups, majorly consisted of artisanal and trading groups. Then Valangai, their right-hand caste groups, consist of mainly agricultural groups. Okay, so these are certain terms related to Cholas. Then again, Shaiva devotional songs, they received king's patronage. Okay, and they collected two texts called as Tevarams, like we talked about in Jyotirlingas. Okay, in art and culture. Okay, this is collected into texts called as Tevaram texts. Okay, Tevaram text itself on there. Okay, so this is social groups under Cholas. So at the same time, they include poems of Appar, Sambandar, Sundarar, variously we referred these particular individuals. And the topics also revolving something related to these particular individuals only, in Jyotirlingas also, everything. So next question, consider the following page, 2022, King and Dynasty, Nannuka, Chandelas, Jay Shakti, Paramara, Nagabhatta II, Gurjar Pratihara. Again, look at that one. The most of the questions are revolving around the same themes. Same Rajput kingdoms, okay, then Gurjara Pratiharas, okay, because we are talking Nagabhatta II, we have talked about tripartite struggle also. Jayashakti Paramaras of Malwa, we already talked about in one particular question. Chandelas, okay, so that is also one of the questions that was asked. Okay, so then again, Bhoja, Rashtrakuta, again, coming to that one. So, Rashtrakutas, Bhoja, there was nothing. Okay, then again, Nannuka, Chandala is the founder, Nagabhatta II, Gurjara Pratiharas, which of the following are correctly matched? It is only two pairs itself only. Okay, only two pairs that is correctly matched. We will look at that one. These particular kings, Gurjara Pratiharas we have seen, Rashtrakutas we have seen, Paramaras we have seen, we will see Chandelas. We will see Chandelas. Okay, that is again, before getting into that one, so that is we need to see the tripartite struggle, because this is particularly coming up again and again. The Gurjara Pratiharas is coming up, Rashtrakutas is coming up. Okay, then again Palas are coming up. So associated topic of this particular that is tripartite struggle, and that is Gurjara Pratihara. Their capital was Avanti in Madhya Pradesh, then Palas in Munger, Bihar. Then again Rashtrakutas, that is Manyaketa, that is Malkhed in Karnataka. So this tripartite struggle between 750 to 900 AD, Palas, Prathiharas and Rashtrakutas to occupy Kanuj. It's a triangular battle for occupying Kanuj. Okay, which was Kanuj? Kanuj was the capital of Harshavardhana, and in this particular battle, the overall fortunes were changing. Sometimes Palas were winning, sometimes Prathiharas were winning, sometimes Rashtrakutas were winning, but ultimately Prathiharas won. And they made Kanuj as their capital along with Avanti. So they made Kanuj as their capital too. Okay, so why Kanuj? Because it was a status symbol. So it was a boundary between all three dynasties. Then it gives access to rich deposits of Gangetic Valley, and that would increase income and production. That would lead to trade and boost trade and commerce also. So economically and politically, Kanuj was far important, and that is the reason they are trying to occupy Kanuj. It was ruled by weak rulers also. That is Ayudas, Indrayudha, Chakrayudha and Vajrayudha, that I gave little bit references in ancient India class. After Varman dynasty, Maitrakar, Maukaris. Okay, so then Ayudha dynasty came into being. Okay, now we'll try to understand the struggle. It's in two phases. It can be a little bit confusing. So first phase of the struggle, like I told you, kept on changing. It's first phase around 790 AD. And first Vatsaraja, he was the king of Pratihara, defeated Indrayudha and occupied Kanuj. That is the first event. Vatsaraja went and occupied Kanuj. Simple. We'll go slow here. Dharmapala, he wanted to control over Kanuj. Now he declared war on Vatsaraja. That is the second event. Because Dharmapala, he wanted to have control over Kanuj. Now Vatsaraja 1 year. That is the third event. Vatsaraja 1. Now Gurjara Pratyahara's domination. But Dhruva Dharavarsha of Rashtrakuta, he defeated Vatsaraja. That is the fourth event. For a brief period, Pratyahara's domination. Then again, Pala's domination wouldn't be established properly during this point of time. Then again, Dhruva established his supremacy over Kanuj, Rashtrakuta's Dhruva. But Rashtrakuta's supremacy couldn't be continued for a very longer period of time because it is far away from the place. It's far away from Manyaketa, that is the capital of Rashtrakutas. So he had to come back to Manyaketa. So lost control. And during this point of time, what happened is that Dharmapala reoccupied Kanuj. That is the fifth event. So Pratyahara's domination for a brief period, Rashtrakuta's domination for a brief period, then Dharmapala reoccupied Kanuj. Okay, so now Pala's domination. So that is Vatsaraja first, then again Dhruva, then again Dharmapala. Dhruva had to come back because Rashtrakuta's capital was in Manyaketa, so he had to come back over there. And the second phase we can talk about Dharmapala. He was not directly ruling over Kanuj, rather he had reinstated Chakrayuda. He wanted to have indirect control over Kanuj through Ayudas. Chakrayuda. Now what happened? Nagabhatta II of Gurjara Pratyaharas, he defeated Dharmapala. This is the first event we can talk about. Dharmapala at Munger only, at Bihar, Munger, capital of Palas. So now Palas got defeated. This is the first event in the second phase. And now Nagabhatta established his supremacy. Now Govinda III of Rashtrakuta, how Dhruva had defeated Vatsaraja, now of Gurjara Pratyaharas. Now Govinda III of Rashtrakutas again defeated Gurjara Pratyaharas. Now Rashtrakuta's domination, Nagabhatta II, the same king that was asked over in that particular question. Again, it was too far away from the capital to control for Rashtrakutas, and Rashtrakuta's power was also declining in 9th century, by the time of 9th century, so they had to come back. And ultimately what happened, Nagabhatta II again, it is the fourth, or we can say make it as the first event, second event, and third event as it. Okay, can make it as second event over here. Now Nagabhatta II occupied Kanuj and made it as the capital. Okay, so again, fortunes were changing very quickly. Sometimes Kanuj was under the control of Pratyahara, sometimes Pala, sometimes Rashtrakutas. Okay, so that is the end of the tripartite struggle. Okay, so ultimately who won? Ultimately won by Pratyaharas. Okay, and then Chandelas of Bundelkhand, that was there in the answer option. That is the feudatories of Gurjara Pratyaharas who built Khajuraho group of temples and their capital also. And later capital was Mahotsava Nagar, which is also called as Mahoba. And fully developed Nagara style of architecture under Chandelas. We discussed about Nagara architecture in art and culture class. And Nanuka, he was the founder. So that was the one pair that was right. Nanuka was the founder, that is Chandelas. And again, another ruler Vakpati, and Jayashakti and Vijayashakti, they were joint rulers between 865 to 885. Now Chandelas territory was called as Jijaka Bhukti after Jayashakti, and that is Bundelkhand region, Madhya Pradesh, and the territory is called Jijaka Bhukti after name of Jayashakti. So Jayashakti and Vijayashakti are joint rulers between 865 to 885. Answer option given for Jayashakti was different. It was given as Parmaras, okay, but he belonged to Chandelas. Okay, Nanuka is the founder between 831 to 845. Vakpati was the king. Okay. Chandelas continuing with that one. Yashovarman constructed Lakshmana temple at Khajuraho. Then again Dangadeva, he constructed Vishwanatha temple. Then again we can talk about Vidyadhara, who constructed Kandariya Mahadeva temple. And Ghazni also invaded East Kingdom, and he had to pay tributes to Muhammad Ghazni, Vidyadhara, and he commissioned Kandariya Mahadeva temple at Khajuraho. So we are trying to interlink politics with art and culture too. So Yashovarman, Dangadeva as well as Vidyadhara. Okay, so these about Chandelas. One more question, that is, which of the phrases defines the nature of the undi generally referred to the source in the post-Harsha period? And that is, it's very easy, the bill of exchange. What is bill of exchange? That is, future payment can be made, drawing upon the goods that is sold. Okay, it's related to trading itself only. Okay, it's a bill of exchange. Nothing we can build about that one. That is a one trader, that is the buyer and seller is there. Okay, so buyer that is had to pay some money, seller had to pay some goods. Okay, the bill of exchange, that is there in economics concept, you can go through that one. And that is buyer obviously does not have money at the need, so he will pay in future dates, and that is called as undi system. It's a kind of a bill of exchange, system. Okay, so that is asked in 2020. And then 2021, it is about Mongol invasions. So that is one topic we will discuss. That is, it was during the time of Iltutmish that Genghis Khan reached the Indus in pursuit of fugitive Khawarizm prince. We will discuss this concept. It was in the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq that Timur occupied Multan and crossed the Indus. Now, Timur had occupied during Nasiruddin Muhammad Tughlaq, not Muhammad bin Tughlaq. This is wrong. Okay. And again, it was during the reign of Devaraya II of Vijayanagara Empire that Vasco da Gama reached east coast of Kerala. Okay, so they are trying to link Vijayanagara Empire with Vasco da Gama. Okay, Vasco da Gama we will discuss in modern India. Okay, Vijayanagara Empire we discussed. Okay, which statements are correct? I think 1 only, 2 only, 3 only. Okay, so this is actually wrong statement. So answer is actually 1 only. Okay, that is, it was when Iltutmish slave dynasty was ruling over. So Genghis Khan came until Indus River. In chasing of Khawarizmi prince, the Khawarizmi empire. So we'll discuss this concept in Mongol invasion topics. Then again, 2022, again repetition of Mongol invasion. First Mongol invasion of India happened during the reign of Jalaluddin Khalji. No, before only it happened. The reign of Alauddin Khalji, one Mongol assault marched up to Delhi and besieged the city. Okay. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq temporarily lost portions of northwestern of his kingdom to Mongols. Again repeating Mongols, competing with different kings, what had happened. So that is the reason we will see Mongol invasion through different kings over there. Answer I'm sure is only B, 2 only. Okay, this is true. Okay, so Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he never lost any kind of territories to Mongols. And the first Mongol invasion happened even before Khalji dynasty. During slave dynasty only, that Iltutmish, okay, Indus River, he came Genghis Khan. Okay, that is there. And now Mongol invasion of India. We'll discuss Mongol invasion throughout the Delhi Sultans. Again, chronologically, I discussed first Mughals. Now I am discussing Delhi Sultans. So still, we'll go through because we are discussing theme wise. So Genghis Khan, 1221, chasing Jalaluddin Mangbarani, is a Khawarizmi empire from Central Asia. He came until Indus River, and this Mangbarani asked for Iltutmish help, but Iltutmish did not give any kind of help, because if he had given help, Genghis Khan would have come to Delhi also. That when Genghis went back to Turkestan, Kazakhstan region, owing to rebellion, and then East tried to safeguard this particular northwestern frontier. Iltutmish. So it happened in 1221. Okay, so Genghis Khan came until only Indus River only. Okay, so he couldn't cross Indus because Iltutmish did not give any kind to Mangbarani, and Genghis Khan had to go back to Turkestan because of rebellion at his hometown. So that is first invasion we can say. And then again Tair Bahadur, that's in 1240. So he's the commander of Herat and Ghazni and Afghanistan. He is a Mongol, and he ransacked Lahore from Delhi Sultans. He occupied Lahore, and the Lahore governor left the place, and he also inflicted a lot of pain on Lahore people also. No help was coming from Delhi because the death of Razia Sultan had happened during that point of time. So a lot of internal conflict was going on. So taking that as an advantage, Tair Bahadur occupied Lahore. But people of Lahore, and they gave a stiff resistance and even killed Tair Bahadur also. He's a Mongol general, Mongol commander. But Mongols, to take revenge of death of Tair Bahadur, they came back and they wreaked havoc in vengeance, and they enslaved many people of Lahore, and they killed many people of Lahore also. Okay, it's happening around 1240, 1241. Okay, and 1221, that is he came, that Genghis Khan came, and Delhi Sultans later reoccupied Lahore when Mongols retreated back because of the death of their king. Their king was Oktay Khan. Oktay, simply referred to as Oktay. So because Mongols went back, and now Delhi again reoccupied Lahore. Okay, now what is Balban's effort? Balban, one of the kings of slave dynasty, to safeguard India from Mongols. What he did, he sent an emission to Alaku. He was the king, and return embassy was also sent by Alaku in 1260. Okay, so both gave respect to each other, grand receptions to each other. So he wanted to have a good relationship with Alaku. Alaku is the king of we can say Mongols, and Alaku told his officials not to invade India. At the same time, Alaku was quite busy occupying Iraq, Syria and Egypt, so he couldn't concentrate much of his efforts in occupying India. So Balban able to maintain good relations with them. But later, Balban realized, that is after the death of Halaku, you never know how the future rulers will have a good, how they will react to this particular previous agreement, and that is the reason now we have to take a forward policy to make some efforts to safeguard Delhi from Mongols invasion. So due to uncertainties of future, he rebuilt the fort of Lahore in 1270. Then again, he sent his eldest son Muhammad to guard the areas. That shows how much importance he gave to Mongols threat. And also he wanted to make Bias river, and that is with Multan and Lahore, with Bias river as the defensive line. So he wanted to defend Delhi with Bias as the frontier. Okay, but he later died in fighting among the Mongols, particularly Muhammad, he died in one of the conflict with Mongols in 1285. Okay, and then again the last Mongol attack under Balban's successor during the slave dynasty was in 1288 when Tamar Khan, he ravaged Lahore to Multan. So Lahore to Multan again was ravaged by Tamar Khan, and that is in 1288. That was the last Mongol attack during the slave dynasty. Okay, therefore until 1290 the Mongols came until Punjab as well as Bias river. There was no serious threat to Delhi, so, but they came until Bias. They kept on progressing towards Delhi. Okay, again no serious advances towards Delhi, and Delhi was also militarily prepared because they knew the threat of Mongols during that point of time. In Jalaluddin Khalji, 1292, his efforts we can see. So the rulers Abdullah and Ulagu, who were the commanders of Mongols, they invaded Punjab region in 1292, and Jalaluddin Khalji himself went to fight, and some kind of agreement reached between Jalaluddin Khalji and Abdullah and Ulagu, who were Mongols, and they established some matrimonial relationship between Delhi Sultans and we can say Mongols. Okay, and because Sultan married one of his daughters to Ulagu, and some of the Mongols embraced Islam also, and they were allowed to settle over Delhi. Okay, that is Jalaluddin Khalji. He tried to have good relationship with, like Balban tried to have good, we can say, diplomatic relationship, and now Jalaluddin Khalji wanted to safeguard Delhi by having good matrimonial relationship. Okay, so Abdullah and Ulagu, they were Mongol rulers, Mongol commanders also, and Alauddin Khalji. New Mongol forward policy came after 1297-98, and Mongol army under Qadar, it was sent by Dawa Khan. He was the Mongol king, and the commander was Qadar. They crossed Bias and Satluj. Again, Indus, Bias and Satluj, they kept on crossing these territories, and Alauddin sent his brother Ulugh Khan, and he defeated, we can say, Mongols. And the first convincing win for Delhi Sultans against Mongols, that is in Battle of Jaran Manjur near Lahore. That is by Alauddin Khalji, and his brother Ulugh Khan defeated Mongols. And again, this was the most convincing victory, like I already mentioned, for Delhi Sultans over Mongols in a straight fight. Next year, Zafar Khan, another commander of Delhi, defeated Mongols in Sindh. Again, Sindh was becoming part of Delhi right now. So 2 times Alauddin defeated Mongols, but not Alauddin directly, but his commanders, Ulugh Khan as well as Zafar Khan. So once in Jaran Manjur near Lahore, once near Sindh. That is again in Pakistan. Then again Alauddin times 4 more, 1299, Kutluk Khan, the son of Mongol ruler Dawa Khan. Okay, so now we invaded with the intention of capturing Delhi. Okay, that is in 1299. Now there is a serious threat towards Delhi. And then Battle of Kili happened. Kili is a place just outside Delhi. Okay, and Zafar Khan got killed in initial battle. Zafar Khan is one of the commanders of Alauddin Khalji. And Alauddin had built a lot front line with large force. So Mongols could not break it. So Zafar Khan got killed in his initial battle. Now Alauddin was successful in saving Delhi. So Mongols could not cross the defensive line of Alauddin Khalji. So they retreated. Who retreated? Mongols retreated. And then again Alauddin times 1303 again. Now Alauddin was away in Chittorgarh. Now taking that as an advantage, Mongols invaded Delhi. Okay, that is Chittorgarh fort, that is Rajputs. Then Alauddin came and protected Siri. Siri is just a city outside Delhi again. Siri fort is there. It's also a fort. It is also a city that is built by Alauddin Khalji just outside Delhi again. So now we came back and protected that particular place. And now we fortified Delhi. Now we understood the real threat of Mongols towards Delhi Sultans. Now we fortified Delhi. Now we brought army reforms. He enlarged the army, and he brought market reforms. Market reforms was to control the prices. By controlling the prices, he could give less salary to soldiers. If you give less salary to soldiers, he can enhance the army. So that will put less burden. If you're giving less salary, that will put less burden on the treasury, and that is the reason he brought market reforms, so that he can have broader army or a larger army to defeat the Mongols. Okay, in 1305 one more attack happened. Now Alauddin Khilji could able to defeat the Mongols. He was better prepared. Okay, so sent an army under Hindu noble Malik Nayak. Now it was completely defeated. Which got completely defeated? Mongols got completely defeated at a place called as Amroha in UP. At a place called as Amroha in UP. So that is Alauddin Khilji could able to defeat Mongols 3 times with the help of his nobles, with the help of his officers. That is Hindu noble Malik Naik, and again Ulugh Khan, then Zafar Khan. So all of them could able to defeat Mongols. He nearly lost Delhi, but he recovered quickly and he learnt the lesson. Then later he established good market reforms and he raised a larger army. In Tughlaq times, 1320, Dalucha Khan, another Mongol ruler, he entered the Kashmir Valley. One more branch came until Meerut, but defeated by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Okay. Then again, Muhammad bin Tughlaq had the foresight. He knew that Mongols are keep on attacking. They will keep on attacking India if we don't take proper action against them. So he wanted to occupy Afghanistan, because Afghanistan was the base for Mongols to occupy India. So that is the reason he raised a big army. He knew that as long as Mongols are there in Afghanistan, they keeps on attacking. So he had the plan of raising 3,75,000 army to capture Kabul and Persia, that is West Asia, but never invaded due to various reasons. There were a lot of internal revolts happened during Muhammad bin Tughlaq times. So he couldn't able to occupy Afghanistan. He couldn't able to occupy Central Asia. So later the Timur, the Mongol ruler, invaded Delhi. Okay, Timur's invasion in 1398 invaded Delhi, and Tughlaq ruler was Nasiruddin Muhammad Shah. Nasiruddin, not Muhammad bin Tughlaq, rather Nasiruddin Muhammad Shah. This was the statement which was there. Okay. Now Khizr Khan, who is the founder of Sayyid dynasty, he had helped Timur. To capture Delhi, who later established Sayyid dynasty. Timur invasion. And again one term was used, Fanam. Okay. So what is Fanam referred to? It is coins. So where this coinage term is there, that is in Chalukyan coins. Badami Chalukyan coins, the different terms are used. Hun, Harvanu, Fana, Fanam, Arhana, Gadyayana, that is a gold coin. The Varaha, that is a coin. Okay, so these are the coinage terms that is there during the Chalukyan time period. Okay, Badami Chalukyan time period. Okay, so this is question was asked. Again, that is a few things we can build about that one, particularly the Fanam asked in 2022. This is a coin's name. Okay, and again one more, which rulers were called as Kuladharan? Okay, that is Sayyids. Sayyids were called as Kuladharan. That is a distinctive cap. Kuladharan means. Okay, Kalandars, this term we studied in Sufi saints. The wandering Sufi saints were called as Kalandars. Okay, again what is Kuladharan means? Kuladharan, also called as Dastar Bandhan. Two types of wearings we can say. Kuladharan means cap wearers. As Sayyids used to use this distinctive pointed cap as theologians, and other theologians used to wear turban called as Dastar Bandhan, Narmar Bandhan. Okay, so normal cap we can say, but this is distinctive pointed cap, very long cap, that is Kuladharan. Okay, that is Islamic theologians also and Sayyids also use this particular thing. And the Sayyid dynasty, because it was in news and also not in news but rather in PYQs, ruled between 1414 to 1451, Sayyid dynasty. Okay, again Sayyid's origin, it goes back to, that is, they say, claimed the descendants of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad. And Khizr Khan was a original noble in, we can say, Tughlaq dynasty. He helped Timur, was the governor of Multan under Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, now he joined Timur's invasion against Delhi. And later he established Sayyid dynasty, and he appointed governor of Malwa and Lahore and Upper Sindh after Timur came and went. Okay, so Sayyid's origin, they claim the origin from Prophet Muhammad. And Khizr Khan, he was the noble in Delhi Sultanate Tughlaq dynasty, particularly under Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He was the governor of Multan, and he joined Timur in invasion against Delhi, and Timur appointed him as governor of Multan, Lahore and Upper Sindh, and he captured Delhi later. Okay, and then he did not take up the title Sultan. Sultan means authority, but continue as the loyalty to Timur, and that is, he was the loyal to Timur, or vassal of Timur. that is called as Rayati Ala. That vassal is termed as Rayati Ala. And then in 1414 to 1421, he ruled as like that one, as a vassal of Timurids. Later Timurids ultimately came and established Mughal dynasty over here. Okay. And then again Mubarak Shah later after Khizr Khan 1421 to 1434. And now we defeated the advancing Ushang Shah Gori, the ruler of Malwa Sultanate. That is his achievement. And he put down the rebellion of Jasrat Kokar of Punjab and managed to fend off multiple invasions by Timurids of Kabul. Okay, now he is trying to assert his authority over the Timurids. But Khizr Khan, he never asserted his authority, but rather he became a vassal. He was a vassal. Okay, and he continued as a vassal. And he owed allegiance to Khalifa, and that is the successor of Prophet Muhammad. Okay, then again Alam Shah, last ruler, 1443 to 1451. But he voluntarily abdicated in favor of Bahlul Khan Lodi, who established Lodi dynasty. Okay, this dynasty that was particularly asked in the answer option. That is the reason we discussed about that one. Okay, so now Bahlul Khan Lodi, and again Ibrahim Lodi, 1526 Babur. But first we have discussed the chronologically we have discussed first Mughals, then we are discussing only one family, that is Sayyids. Okay, and some travelers who came to India. These are all French travelers who came to India. Okay, so who talks about diamond mines in India, particularly the Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. So all these French travelers we can discuss, that is Baptiste Tavernier, gem merchant. I visited Persia and India between 1630 1668. He also visited the kingdom of Golconda, who is known for diamond mines. And he also took certain kind of diamonds from India. So Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, 1630 1668. We can talk about Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was the ruler. Then again Francois Bernier, French physician, visited India between 1658 and 70. That is Aurangzeb was the ruler. He wrote one book called as Travels in the Mughal Empire. Then Jean D. Thévenot. Okay, so pronunciation could be French pronunciation. French traveler again. Visited India in 1660s. Again Abbe Kar, that is Barthel Kar, pronunciation could be different. India between 1670 to 74. Again when Aurangzeb was the ruler of India, ruler of the Mughal territories. Okay, so these are something that is asked. He is also French. All these four option, that is French. One English traveler who came to India, that is Thomas Coriat. English traveler, that is Thomas Coriat, that is from England. 1615 visited India during the time of Jahangir, to Jahangir's court. Okay. Then book Greetings from the Court of the Great Mughal, that is a book written by Thomas Coriat. Okay, Thomas Coriat. Then again this particular question was asked in 2015. Medieval Indian state, old names and the present region, Central India, Champaka, Jammu, Durgura, then Kuluta, Malabar. Again this was a out of blue question. Okay, so I couldn't find much information about these particular areas. And then probably local people of Malabar, then again Jammu and Central India, particularly these particular places probably knowing their name. So again that is some old names that has been asked. You can look at the ancient Indian cities name, and then any kind of modern names are there. You can go through them. That is further build up of the particular thing. Any medieval Indian cities, modern names, you can go through that one. Okay, so this is about the medieval history PYQs, and then next session we'll talk about the modern history PYQs. And again to learn history in a crisp manner, in a flowchart manner, you can join this channel, History Chronicles by Guru, and it's a Telegram channel. So you can search by this name and you can join that one. And the next session we'll talk about the modern history. Okay, so it's very extensive and it's quite tiring also. So talking to myself, so in this studio, so I take a lot of effort. So to bring all these PYQs, so segregated them, and at the same time discussing 360-degree aspect of this particular PYQs. So hopefully that should help you people in your preparation. Still a lot of time is there, so keep on revising. So in next session we'll talk about the modern history previous year questions. Okay, so thank you so much. See you in the next session.